Locked in my room, 4 black walls, tied the noose, no recall, no result, fuck withdraw, rather shoot up till I fall. Murder on call with the fight now, 20 years and it seems like a lifetime. I've been hanging every day from a lifeline. Why these fuckers tell dinner every nighttime? Smoking that dope off the floor, let me blow. Hopefully don't come, don't fuck with y'all. Spray paint the walls with blood and whatever. Drag you outside, let you rot in the weather. I don't think I can explain any better. I'm scarecrow to terror and live for the lesson. My birth was an error. Dying is all the very that's how long my breath just broke. We definitely standing up in the bed. Doesn't my rope in my neck and I woke up choking from the hole in my chest. Some at my bed is the fucking the dope every day. Got a lump in my throat and I do follow the smoke. I'm flooding the fuck off these souls and they're pumping their throat. Get the fuck away from me. I hate all of you. Thankfully this world was never made for me. Thankfully I'm trying to see past all the lies, the righteous sins. I shake my knees and walk the plank and freeze.
Letting a new day begin. Hold to the time that you know.
Так, уло, я на месте, здрасте. Ой. Первым днем весны, привет. Вика, да, с первым днем весны. Привет. Ух, ё-моё. Так, что-то я прям пипец давно так не стримил, что мне тут все этого, я пока переделал это, и я охуел. В прямом смысле, блядь. Мало того, что еще винду переустанавливал, так это вообще пипец. Все это надо было заново билдить, блядь. Ужас какой-то. Так. Короче, сейчас вебка у меня не умерла, конечно, у меня просто сейчас она временно отключена. Сейчас я потом потрублю, когда я это перейду уже. Текс. Боже мой, что за херня, блядь, тут? Я это, думаю, закрою, нафиг оно мне надо. Я это тоже закрою. Смотреть буду уже чисто... Уже через... Оттуда. И хватит мне пока что этого. Так, короче, сегодня у нас патч 3.5 вышел с утра, я уже там все посмотрел. Ну, конечно, я контент не проходил здесь. Так, музыку потише, наверное, сделаю, думаю. И это, там сейчас, блин, контента, в принципе, немного, но там чисто почистить, там за, условно, за один день можно все это. Встреча с Фарузан, задание Легин с Дехи и это, и сюжетка. Ну, еще и бездна сегодня будет вместе с ним. Так что вот так вот. Да, вот такие, блин, какие-то интересные, что-то нашел, блин, бэкграунды для весеннего времени, блядь, пипец какой-то. Такое ощущение, будто ты какой-то прям богач какой-то снимал, типа, опа, прикольно, блин. Как, в общем. Барабум, барабим, бам-бум, пау. Я тут, здрасте. В общем, как-то так я тут носил со своей старой маечки. Ну, я обычно всегда сижу в майке, мне как бы похуй. В майке мне обычно всегда удобнее так сидеться. Попросторнее, если так сказать. Так, короче. Блин, музыка это грустно пошла, блин. Рублю какой-то нормальный вроде музон, блядь. Так, короче, что у нас? Так, я тут все вроде свернул, все. Я, блин, вроде пробегался, блин, все эти круги забрал, все это прокрутил. Короче, по итогу мне выпало ни хера особого, блин. Мне даже, ну, разумеется, мне ничего из леги не выпало. Зато мне выпала третья коса на колей, блин, которая, в принципе, по сути, не нужна мне была. Но самое профильное мне выпало 60 коса на Барбару, блядь. Последняя коса на Барбару, которой у меня не было, ну, где-то больше года, что ли. Это прям пипец какой-то. То есть я подкрутил круто где-то больше 20. Мне вот выпало коса на Барбару последняя и третья коса на колей. Зонгер, привет, привет. Так, наверное, вот так вот поставлю, думаю. Посмотришь пару персонажей? Можешь, в принципе, кидать ID, да, могу посмотреть, если хочешь. Пока Аккаунты могу, в принципе, оценить спокойно. Ну, сразу говорю, это чисто субъективно будет. Там уже часа твоих предпочтений, часы, если интересно. Так, вижу твой ID. Сейчас смотрим. Так. Тут хотел уже добавить. Так, Аята, Казуха и Аята. Начнем с Хутавы. Так, Хутава. Ух ты, блин. ХП у него вроде окей. МС, правда, маловато немного. Я бы хотя бы B200 МС был бы вполне стабильно. Не, ну статы, конечно, прикольные. Прям вкусно очень. Статами прям тут очень прям вкусно. Но одно, конечно, то, что МС не могу, ей не хватает, чтобы ей хотя бы от реакции было получше дамажить. Ага. Сигнал Сайна, блядь, нихера себе. Вот это интересно, конечно. Первый же, кстати, кто с этим посохом бегает особо так. А, он еще и не вкачан еще, фига. Честно, МС не падают. Так это еще и у тебя не прокачан, нифига себе. Так, ебать. Если ты сейчас докачаешь, у тебя будет 90 кэша, нафиг тебе столько, блин. Ты лучше куда-нибудь влей, хотя бы, чтобы это ВМС. Ну так у тебя, в принципе... ну у тебя фулл-сет так-то стоит. Не, ну так неплохие, в принципе, часы, я скажу. Я бы, честно, такие бы часы, чтобы мне прям вообще было все прям с кайфом. Ага. Так, дальше у нас еще Аята. Аята, что там с ним у нас? Нормально, в принципе. С кэша крит урона все вроде отлично. Где урон есть. По оружке вообще рык. Ну, в принципе, чего бы и нет. Хочу по рофлу на 100 на 200 сделать. Не знаю, как хочешь, в принципе. Просто МС более-менее так более, ну как сказать, средне востребован. Не сказал, что прям сильно, но желательно бы иметь чуть-чуть больше БМС. Чтобы прям комфортно было. Это просто от реакции ты будешь не такой большой этот прок давать. По итогу. Так, 2 на 2 сет, гладиатор и глубин, нормально. Талантом тут все окей. Порушки, ну конечно, это, блядь, это рык, ладно. Окей. Прикольно, конечно. Но я, кстати, к сожалению, мало бегал. Ну, то есть, у меня там другими были сетами. Так, казах. МС нормально, 779. По составам все нормально. Восстановление более-менее пойдет. 150 почти, это окей. Стабильный казах, ничего тут не сказать. Вполне обычный казах. Нормально собранный под МС. Тут ничего даже, тут нечего даже что-то говорить вообще по нему. В принципе, все. Я какой-то чел, блин. Шапку глянь. Шапку? Где именно? На казахе, что ли, именно глянуть? И порой на Аята. Шапка. Фига. Ну, кстати, нормально. В принципе. У меня примерно похоже есть, только не из этого сета, к сожалению. Хотя мне было очень бы неплохо такой заметить на Скару. Так, и перо на Аята, говоришь, да? Ну, в принципе, нормально. 36 крит урон, это нормально. Ну, тебя прям жестко попрокало с ними, я так скажу. Нормально, хорош. Не, в принципе, вполне нормально все. Я вот только я говорил тебе, ну, чисто по желанию, ты можешь просто это хутавиному ГМС прибавить, чтобы какой-то прок от реакции было. И все. А по основному у тебя проблем никаких нету вообще. Никаких придирок нету особо. Так. Что тут у нас вообще, блин? Вот даже у меня вот, кстати, вот Скара, блин, у меня вот перо у него вот такое. 32 крит урона. О, кстати, такое ощущение будет. Что за херня? У меня такое ощущение, будто их расширили немного, эти... эти расширили чуток. Или мне так кажется, не знаю. Мне такое ощущение, будто их расширили чуток. С патчем новым. Ладно. Ну, это, конечно, мне самого нету, но ладно. Так. Короче, самоло сейчас пока не сливал. Я только сейчас обрабатывал. Сейчас куда надо сходить сегодня? На боссов надо сходить. Так, сейчас на жабу сходим сейчас для начала. Привет. О, Лаки, здорово. Здорово. Чё, как сам? Я сегодня что-то решил тут подсветку поменять. Типа у меня она была обычно вот такая вот подсветка сейчас. Вот. Если будет заметно, конечно, на камере. У меня вот она была какая-то более светлая. Сейчас она такая вот более какая-то естественная, что ли. Решил такой типа вайп немножечко поменять. А, это у меня объединен сейчас. Вот такой. Хорошо, все. А у вас? А у меня нормально все отлично. Я вот сегодня, короче... Я, блядь... Если что, вкратце, я вот что недавно начал делать, я читать начал психологию. И, кстати, это прикольная вещь, кстати, довольно. Я даже, в принципе, почитал страниц уже сколько там прочитал уже. Сейчас посмотрю, если сколько там. Уже 30 страниц прочитал за день. Ну, прикольная тема довольно, я так скажу. Начал что-то немного этим увлекаться. Если, кстати, если что, я в телеге про все это, кстати, писал. Поэтому это еще повод на мой телек подписаться. Если что, в описании ссылки там сюда. Телек на мой подписывайтесь. Anyway. Я там просто все обычно пишу. Так, в общем, сейчас на босса пойдем. Хотя, давай какую-то совместку, блядь, похуй. Пойду-ка с другими людьми схожу, блядь, по приколу, блядь. Может, что-то получится, блядь. Я, блядь, я вообще, кстати, ни разу не ходил с кем-то, блядь. Именно с рандомами. Мне интересно, что там из этого выйдет, блядь. Чисто именно на жабку схожу с рандомами. Ох, ебать. Господи, что это нахуй? Ну, тут не знаю.
Good roll. All right, maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm feeling up to
Тут
it.
даже хз, честно, кого брать. Не, могу, в принципе, Скар взять, потому что у нас Елань есть. Есть. А Гобан возьму, в принципе, похер. Оба.
Where I'm from, if we didn't keep moving, we'd freeze to death.
Ну окей, так пойдем, блин. Беннет. Только они сейчас не поймут, потому что у меня Беннет со 6, я такой... Ничего, пошалим. Хотя там, в принципе, только сейчас кому будет плохо, это Аль-Хайтама, потому что... Хотя, подожди, Аль-Хайтам там похуй на эти резисты. Точнее, на инфузии. У него же свои инфузии есть на урон.
You dare overstep your mortal authority?
Ох, ебать.
Everybody stand back! Let's light it up!
Не, кстати, убиваем вроде быстро довольно.
Adventure time!
Так, теперь все, будете, ребят. Вам вообще пизда будет.
Enraged earth will not absolve you!
Чел, тебе пизда будь, съебывай. Куда он, блядь, там ходит, блин? Всем, что ли, чокнулся? Все, теперь идем.
Adventure time!
Today, you witness your reckoning!
Go in! Your head, we go! No escape! Adventure time! Step aside.
Ох, ебать. Сейчас сдохну.
This is just my...
Сука, я из этого круга ебаного сдох. Пиздец. Не знаю, ребят, короче, пиздите теперь без меня. Новый гидр. Да, гидр самый противный, честно, блядь. Нет, от них увернуться так-то можно, но, блядь, это такой, блядь, ужас ебаный, я в рот ебал. Так, ладно, там пацаны уже справляются, в принципе, его сейчас отходит. Ой, блядь. А этот, блядь, чел тут стоит, ждет, блядь. Ему похуй вообще. Ждут они просто его, что ли. Чип-чили, блин. Вот и все. Так. Аварды заграл. Ну, кстати, неплохие часы на хп. Может, где-то сгодятся. Окей, ладно. Эти челы просто пришли там, походу, типа, хелповать и все, и ушли. А я, блин, типа, и забрал босса сразу, и все. И все. Все, пока. На жабку садил, в принципе. Теперь остальные буду соло сейчас закрывать. Походу, людям насколько скучно стало, что они решили, блин, часа пойти там помогать людям, и все просто уходят. Все, такой. Вот. И такой тут мем, блядь, спис, блядь, когда там челик просто исчезает, блядь. Так, кого там дальше пойдем пиздить? А, Скару пойдем пиздить сейчас. Скара по расписанию. Сегодня как раз еще и будет встреча с Фурзан, кстати, надо, в принципе, к этому моменту сейчас надо успеть это... Книжки пофармить. А, бля, подожди, на него сегодня книжки нет или нет? Есть. Блин, надо проверить. Я что-то не уверен, что там какие-то книжки остались. Точнее, то, что на него сегодня книжки. Я просто хочу и ульту покачать до конца. До макса, но проблема в том, что у меня сейчас мора не так уж много. Это прям пиздец какой-то. Я что за трек меня заграл какой-то? Может, как нормально? Конечно, у меня до хера всяких хпшных музыки, блядь, прям реально. Но мне как-то уже похуй, честно. Так, все. Так, подожди, да, все сразу проверю, чтобы это не ебался. Ага, да, сегодня на нее книжки, ладно, хорошо. Но мне нужны нитки. Сука, мне нужны нити, блядь, сраные. Я просто хочу и ульту, короче, до 10 левела подкачать и все. Чисто ульту только ее тронуть. Ладно, погнали. Пэу-пэу. Мяу-мяу-мяу. Так вот музыку пока ставлю. Блин, это полный трендец тут. Ладно. А сколько, соответственно, Фурзан? В смысле, Фурзан? Значит, рвёчная. Типа она у меня макс уже возвышенная, но просто мне докачать надо. Как бы мне вот, на ульту. Или ты про чё? Созвездие? А, ты созвездие? Так мог сказать сразу созвездие, блин. 3. Не 3, но не созвездие. Мне вот только недавно на стандарте выпал еще он, и у него конста, блядь. До этого у меня было 2, когда был ее баннер с карой. А потом одну выбил просто на стандарте.
Gotcha. Adventure time. Here comes the catch. Let's light it up.
More power.
We'll see about that. Gears of the storm.
The wind rises.
А, вот просто, блин.
You cannot defy me, mortal. My endless cycle begins.
Ой, блядь, пизда.
That couldn't break.
А, я не люблю этот момент. Блядь, не называю.
Still unsolved.
Фиги спам холдами. Блин, сейчас надо, блин, его довести до этого состояния, блядь, его. Иначе хуй выживу, блядь.
Churn. Squall and fury.
Ебал, блядь. Что-то какой-то пипец.
1,000 neon.
Что такая музыка тихая, вот. ТФ. У меня такое ощущение, будто она реально тихая, блин, или не знаю. Сейчас.
Mine to dominate.
Да ёбану в рот, ты серьезно, блядь? Я чё, разучился играть вообще, что ли, или чё, блядь? Я что-то ебать, блядь, какой-то... Я что-то ебать разучился играть, походу. Либо Скару, блядь, бафнули, либо, не знаю, я очень... Он что-то какой-то, блядь, ебать, сложно стал немного. И мне не так, что всем вообще не везет, условно, совсем. Так, все, сейчас. Куда я, кажется, заебал. Ты чё за хуйня, блядь? Это ненормально, блядь. Либо я настолько анлаки сейчас сегодня, блядь, либо не знаю, что за хуйня, блядь. Лучше бы так бы не было у меня бы в этом. Просто проблема в том, что сейчас как я, блядь, буду этих убивать. Эти турели, блядь, сраные. Боки надо захилиться, а он сдох, блядь. Все, ты захилился. Короче, у меня есть тогда план другой. Просто хилюсь, блядь, как еблан. Ну хотя бы энергию накопил, на том спасибо, блядь. Ура! Какая ебанина, блядь, это пиздец. Ладно, стрелять был. Я даже так его унизил, блядь, двумя перстами просто. Бля. Я его просто запинал двумя перстами, блядь. Ебать. О, ебать, две шапки. Это оставлю. Одна нитка. Это ладно, потом переделаю. А, сотворитель не будет творитель, сотворитель не выпал. Удивительно. У меня такое ощущение, будто у меня вебка лагает иногда, блядь, не знаю. Скару унизил, Скару, блядь. В очередной раз. А, да, что-то... Да-да-да, блядь, у меня вебка лагает, пизда. Ох, сука. Что за хуйня происходит с вебкой, блядь? Он просто иногда бывает просто нахуй лагает и пизда ему, блядь. Что с телефоном? Сейчас, короче, вебку переложу. Какая-то ебанина, блядь, с ним происходит непонятная. Блядь, сука, только программу обратно поставил, все вроде окей было, а сейчас, блядь, какая-то залупа, блин, с ним происходит. Либо не знаю, из-за чего он так лагает, блядь, сейчас начал. Хуй пойми, из-за чего. Сейчас, погоди-ка. У меня такие же лаги остались, я просто сейчас вебку перезагрузил, у меня такие же лаги остались. Какого-то хрена. Сейчас посмотрим, что не так. Может, правда перезагрузить надо, не знаю. Сейчас. Один момент. Так. Да. Вроде все. Вот, все теперь нормально. Так. Я просто думал, что за херня реально происходит какая-то. ТФ. А, все равно лаги есть. Да ёбаный в рот, что за хуйня? Сука, блядь, это пипец. Вот, сейчас нормально. Но все равно, блядь, задержка, ебать, огромная. Непонятно, зачем у меня такая сейчас русская дикая, блядь. Но это точно не с компом связано. У меня вообще там много слов совсем нет. Не знаю, почему из-за этого, блядь, что происходит. Прям поймешь, что с ним вроде что случилось. Он, блин, то лагает, то вроде не лагает, ну, блин, ладно. Но у него все равно какая-то задержка ебанутая. Это прям пипец неприятно. Ох уж эти программы, блин, сраные. У меня вроде до этого все было отлично, сейчас уже какая-то ебаная. О, сейчас уже нормально. Задержка где-то в секунду. Но она все равно есть, но она хотя бы не такая сильная. Короче, ладно, 90 и это на рейден. Сейчас пойдет сыночек унижать маму. Как бы это смешно не звучало, но в очередной раз в стране пойдет унижать маму. Свою уже не маму, к сожалению. Так, мне лучше этот трек не вырубать, потому что я знаю, что меня могут за это 18 плюс прикрепить на стрим. Ну и мне нахуй мне оно надо. Пизду. Что-то я, блядь... Мне, блядь, такие треки ебанутые бывают, это вообще ужас. Ой, блядь, я забыл своих порезать. Так, давай как раз сюда пойдем. Теперь музыка громкая, блядь, почему-то. У меня вот такая громкая сейчас. Сейчас, погоди. Так, вроде бы все.
You think I've got a sharp tongue? I just tell it like it is. If someone can't handle it,
Ура.
maybe that's their problem.
Так. Нет, там ход снова.
This one, a fleeting shadow. Gotcha. Lightning does not bend to the will of mortals. Adventure time. Pathetic. Too late for regrets. Everybody stand back.
Бокин, бокин.
Illusions are but distractions.
Блядь, сраный нахуй. О, блядь. Сразу спалил, блядь.
Quietly now.
Dare to mess with me? Truth repeats itself.
Unsightly insects.
Teamwork is dreamwork. This world, a fleeting shadow.
Squall and fury.
All desire can be broken.
That's far enough.
This body is eternal.
Устал на домашних напоследок.
Here comes the catch. I'm going in. Have fun with this gift.
Wretched vermin.
Ох, ебать, я вернулся от Юкары нахуй. Ебать, я вовремя.
How amusing.
Да, как, блядь, алло?
Witness the final calamity. Inferior. Let's light it up. We'll see about that. Teamwork is dreamwork.
The wind rises. That's far enough.
Ух ты, блядь. Аккуратнее ты там, блядь.
Why do they never miss? Game's up. Gears of the storm. Let's light it up. Everybody stand.
Unsightly insects.
Adventure.
Squall and fury.
У нее защита пропала, но она все равно, блядь, стоит на месте. Алло, окей.
are about to get set.
Сейчас
Have fun
задавлю
with this
просто.
game.
Cry louder.
Your thyme crumbles before me.
Хоть так, блядь, пиздец. Блядь, я поражаюсь с этого, блядь, когда она такой... Что-то я, блядь, ору не могу с этого, честно. Так, чё? Так, короче, я не могу особо определить, с чем можем начать, по сути, контент закрывать. С Фарузан, встречи ее. Либо с Дехи начать, либо задание Дехи. Либо мы сюжет будем сразу проходить. То есть у нас как бы тут 3 выбора. Либо сюжет, либо встреча, либо это, сюжет к Дехи. Тут, блядь, я сам не могу что-то особо определиться, честно. Как хочешь. Не знаю. Просто сейчас я думаю, что с Дехи мы там, может быть, чуть подольше будем. Ну, не так, как сейчас в сюжете. Скорее, в сюжете будет чуть, наверное, не дольше. Сюжет будет прям дольше идти, наверное. Там, наверное, какие-то... Я думаю, что все-таки вот сюжет стоит прям напоследок. Поэтому все-таки давай-ка я начну, наверное, с Дехи, скорее всего. Потому что, думаю, с Дехи мы там закончим, ну, не так долго. Поэтому потом уже, наверное, будем Фарузан проходить, а потом уже сюжет. Просто хочу как бы за все это за один стрим прийти, поэтому там уж посмотрим, как по времени будет. Тем более интересно, что там за сюжетик у Дехи. Хоть я, конечно, не рассматриваю как для крутки для себя. Ну что, по итогу на сторону стандарт уйдет и как бы... Нахуя? Если могу в какой-то момент просто нахуй выиграть в проигрыше 50-50 такой. А нахуя тогда? Да, лучше всех сумерских читиков закрыть по всему сюжет. Ну да, вот реально, там все равно тем более не сумером будет связано уже с этим дайт-слэвом уже сюжет. Там будет уже прям такой жесткий твист идти, поэтому лучше реально сейчас пройти сначала сумеру везде. Потом уже это все остальное. Так, базар. Блять, меня опять вебка лагает. Это сука.
Everyone's trying to remember.
Как же
What
бесит
else do we
нахуй,
put on our
ебаная хуйня.
shopping list?
Он сейчас отлагала, блядь.
Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's
Бириани.
go get some.
Ну, Дехи вообще слабая вышла. Интересно, она может быть хуже Дилюка? Хуй его знает, честно. Это, блядь, это знаешь, что урода Ита плюс Альбеда и только это пира. Все. Так что она по-своему как-то уже прикольно. Так что она по-своему уже как-то вышла.
We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting...
Hello there.
А,
Oh, it's been quite a while.
Дуня Арзада. Которая, блядь, лечилась, блин, на протяжении всего сюжета.
Didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard. Not that our friendship was over. The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time.
I told Dia to just stay at our place when she took one. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always...
That sounds like something they would say, all right. Anyway, the job is already taken care of. So I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
Трек помехаем. Куда ну старая, блин, ебаный рот. Блять. У меня даже такое есть, блять, сейчас вот включу. Пиздец, я настолько всякого, блять,
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dia. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
Блин, не нужно идти уже. Ну ладно, если уж прям тебе срочно надо, то иди, не заставляй себя. Удачи там,
You
давай.
know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll
Давай,
always be next time.
пока. Удачки.
She said they'll treat you to the best dishes. Paimon can't believe you can still refuse that.
but wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? There are so many places I still haven't visited.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things.
Oh, come on.
I know, I'm sorry.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, have you been delaying our trip because...
Nah, are you kidding?
Did you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. When pride, if something really is...
Oh, looks like Junior's ad was onto
Походу,
something.
что-то не тут. Что-то не чисто. Ну, хорошо. Я разберемся, что будет. Так, я тоже сейчас проверю по быку. Ну, кстати, у меня стрим идет прям вообще плавно довольно. Шел. Хотя нам вроде мне идет так, как будто мне на меня пиксеет. Но это, блин, из битрейта так. У меня просто интернет не вытягивает больше битрейт. Хотя на ютубе там, блин, похуй на битрейт вообще. Это, блин, в этом, кстати, плюс. Тут все есть. То, что...
Too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you.
Ну, с одной стороны, стабильно.
I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where more...
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still...
My lady. All right. I'll share what I know. Okay. Let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention. As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine.
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Aina.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah.
Deshret's relics is composed of many smaller brigades, like... On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them.
The Khan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akmar is led by my father.
Say what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now.
Чё, блин, стычки с батей теперь будут по
What did
пьяни?
they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of... Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
That's beyond terrible.
I don't know how Deshret's relic sees it. All I do... If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade... I just wish I knew what's...
Yeah. How can your...
I don't know. People change. He's always been...
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother. It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that he told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was? He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories...
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around. But after about... He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so... Even the toys he gave me would all be... It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
What an interesting guy.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish. That was something until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, did they really think that as long as...
I think I can understand your feeling.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. Yeah. I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern
I see.
It is, but every mercenary.
That may be true.
Well, now you get what?
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
Huh? But they're.
Well, he's super tough, so if he went into the desert with...
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more. I'll wait for news from you in the city until then.
All right, then let's get moving.
Погнали. Львиная кровь. Короче, спасать типа будем, либо его, блядь. Ну вы поняли. Пришлепывать. В пустыне, в караване. Честно, вот это, блядь, напоминает какой-то, блядь. Не буду уж точно говорить, что это вообще напоминает. Короче, типа группировки типа бандитов. Но только какая-то более такая обширная база, я бы сказал бы.
Hey, Dia, you're back. Are these two friends of yours? Likewise. Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, they've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, they even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. But it sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough, a portion of their profits is immediately exchanged.
That's terrible!
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so... A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as... Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other... If their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the... Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. It seems they're
Всё
also trying to
запутано,
keep
блядь.
things under wraps.
Почему так все запутано? Ой, извини за перегруз. Мне тут прям пишут, что это перегруз. По микрофону тут прям видно. Я же как бы во втором мониторе вот здесь у меня стрим, ОБС, вот это все, чат. Вижу, что у меня перегруз дикий. Ладно, уж так хуёвался. Просто так вот.
It sounds mighty strange to me. Gotta say though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as
What he said. Besides, yeah. And while they went to talk with Dakan al-Akmar, any survivors of the attack were already... We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebat. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the... Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you...
Hey, what about Paimon?
Oh,
Of course! Paimon is the...
Oh. In that case...
Don't underestimate Paimon!
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many, even if she had only survived on sheer...
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge...
Oh, one other thing, Dia. When you're free, we held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Main. The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry and I couldn't make it back.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on...
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never...
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that, and you weren't even...
All right. We can tell...
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Are they?
More. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speak. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that, but we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping everything bottled up, never talking about it. That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. Hey, knuckleheads!
Yeah, you hear her, Holloff? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first.
Я набросала.
I drew up a map. Right here is the spot.
Блин,
There you'll find the merchant caravan
Просто
responsible for getting rid of the Conall
Чё?
Akmar's. All you
Опять
gotta do
чё-локаторы это?
is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
Это, блядь, вообще он нахуй была. Ох, эти локализаторы. Обожаю.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to every.
Will do. You.
Ужас. Так, что у нас? Теперь у нас... Ебать, у нас куда дорога, блядь, вообще? А, прям сюда, что ли? Блядь, на Новый год учился, блядь. Алло, блядь, еще до Нового года, нахуй, еще целую, блядь, вечность пока что. Дожить бы еще до НГ, блядь, честное слово. Так. Все, куда?
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time. It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another. So
No need to worry.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that
Фига, его переждали тут. Только небо какое-то мыльное, бля, what the fuck.
here they come. You ready? Let's not give them a chance to react.
О, щит. Тём, сейчас мы сразу за нее, что ли, будем брать? Ну, конечно же.
Busted.
Dare to mess with me?
Look alive.
Ну, то даже особо не попробовал ульту, блин. Все за меня Элани уже сделала.
You're the flame.
Good. That saves me an introduction.
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else.
That might have worked on an amateur. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you've got 5 seconds?
Whoa!
О, нихера она, блин, резко пошла.
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy 2 seconds.
I'll save you the trouble.
Huh? Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the air. I definitely didn't expect him to go that far.
What? Why would he be so...
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could...
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time, There are lots of...
Пипец. Это уже тут настолько все строго с этим, блин, ужас. Ок. Тут что у нас? Продукты.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names.
Let me take a look. If this... Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti. All familiar names. Dakana Lakmar has been trading for This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakana Lakmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered. Perhaps, but they couldn't have known. Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. There are a lot of entries. Everything... Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazamon...
Homoyani? You mean Dunyarzad's family?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact... Just what the heck is going on here? I'm sorry. You're right. I'll consider but what this piece of paper confirms is that
What if the Homiyanis have been kept in the dark?
That's a possibility. But if that was the case, why is this they could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Rebot or Port Ormos. Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods.
But why would he do something like...
I honestly have no idea. I've been to their estate many times, and the only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment, but that's still just a speculation. I don't think the master would... You're probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something...
But what should we do now? All we...
If you ask me, I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support.
И такой конкретный круг пошел, что из этого хуй кто выйдет. Ну, почему бы и нет.
If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper.
Dia, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the...
I've considered that possibility. She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with... That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
Yeah. Let's...
Обратно в город. Конечно, это, блин, пипец. Что вот так вот случилось? Что, блин, сама по итогу Dunyarzada в этом связана. С ней, кажется, сидела. Это прикольно. Это, конечно, не прикольно, но интересно.
We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected.
Actually, we are still...
I see.
Something like that.
You all look a little... Why don't you discuss it with me?
It's okay, my lady.
So something is wrong. On any other day, Paimon would have already... So,
My lady?
the master. Okay.
Что там подбирай слова?
My father has been supplying goods to...
Yeah. It makes as little sense to us as it... I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm happy... Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story, and just...
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, in the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30.
About that... Well, the Homiyanis really... Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen. He offered me a pile of more...
Well, but that didn't really answer my...
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or... I think I get what you're saying.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seemed strange. If my father had always been in contact with Dakan al-Akmar...
You mean the goal all along was to get Dia to be your bodyguard?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my...
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father...
Блин,
So,
что-то так все
the
запутано,
Master
ужас,
was
блин.
not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
Sorry we put all this on you so...
It's okay, Paimon. I should act regardless of his reasons if my father has...
But is that... My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. However... The Homiyani family has treated me with nothing. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homiyani...
Dia...
It's alright, Dia. If anyone were to ask...
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of...
Hey! It's still too early to give up hope! What was the thing about friendship? Right, yeah, trust! You said that yours besides! There's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts!
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should all... In which case, my lady?
Sure thing. I also...
Usual?
Это старое место, наверное, то самое место, видимо, оно надо. О, блин, чё так все запутано, ё-моё. Ты сначала, блин, одно, потом вот Верзада, блядь, что там связано, и батя, блядь, связан. Чё за... блядь. Сука. Я, конечно, ничего не имею против, но, блядь, китайцы, вы чё, блядь, что-то как-то вы жестко, блин, тут сюжет как-то, блин, двигаете, прям. Они прям впихивают тебя вот в это вот все, вот так вот так вот берут тебя, блядь, и вот это все впихивает нахер. Вот просто вот так вот берут и вот так вот. Не, блядь, вот на тебе вот этот весь движ, блядь. Разбирайся в этом самом такой. Что, кого, блядь? Что такой резкий движ пошел, блядь?
Thank you for coming,
Хотя это
sir.
только одно задание легенд только, блядь.
Please allow me to introduce these two.
Ah, yes, but we may.
Well, we wanted to bring...
So that's what you found.
If you wouldn't mind.
Well, it's a lot. What I do know, though, dear.
Wait.
Yes, I understand perfectly why you. But knowledge always comes at a price. Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn. The facts of this matter may reduce everything if you must proceed.
His heartfelt efforts. I'm sorry, sir, but I've made it this far in life without us. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world. As well, I came here today to support you as the...
I understand. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunya. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyazad.
Really?
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on. We started talking about our children, and I to repay his kindness. I hired his...
So, that's what happened.
Так вот все-таки в чем прикол. Это уже как бы уже, когда они уже это... Они еще были когда мелкими. Что-то какой-то пипец.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been
So, what happened to him? He was
I'm not too sure myself. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyazad, now that she at the time, Dunyazad was going through a particularly severe, but he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know? I was completely lost at first.
Нет, с одной
Until he
стороны, это, конечно,
recommended the
прикольно.
blazing beasts.
Но,
And in
ебать.
particular, a mercenary named Dia.
Когда движ ебанутый, честно слово, я что-то не могу в неведении в этом плане, блядь. Вроде знаю, что, блядь, это выглядит как-то, блин, пиздец. То, что, типа, батя хотел добро, ну, типа, так получилось, то, что я, блядь, я, типа, долбан, я меня дочь не любит, туда-сюда, но я хочу, чтобы она хотя бы меня помнила. Что-то типа такого, блядь.
So he was the one who
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detect if Dia could stay in my house and keep working as a bot.
And that's why you offered her.
Yes, but not just because of that. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked. Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that. Acting like he's oh so
Ебать.
smart and self-righteous.
По логике, Дехи теперь сводная сестра, что ли, получается, Назирята? Ну, блядь, это как-то, блядь, ебать, мув, блядь, бать, это хорош, блядь, нахуй, честно.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dia's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but eventually I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago.
Уже ты сидишь, блин, конечно, это ужас. Блин, я порой уже охуеваю с таких сюжетов, уже иногда я такой... Чё за нахуй?
The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Короче, пока думаю, так оставлю, и все хватит.
That's right. When I started to hear some but by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests. That thought occurred to me as well. After some deliberation, I decided I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support, in the end, it probably was the wrong decision.
If you can, please. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if all he wants to do is steer clear of me.
Oh no.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions. Another way? I don't know. I knew him and he was nothing more, but I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to...
I'll do my best to help. I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with... I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tap.
Understood. Thank you,
sir.
I'll stay and be with my father here. My father has indeed done something wrong, but I feel like our only course...
Yes. It's time to face my mistakes.
Пришла пора расплатиться за ошибки. Найдите наемника вечером около таверны. Ага. Но это вечер надо. Ой, какой-то движок там случайно. О, плюс 1 саб, кстати. Ой, не мог крикнул там микрофон, блин. Просто у меня тут еще, с другой стороны, мне как бы этот индикатор сабов. Я что-то вот выпустил видос, у меня вроде как сейчас типа больше одного сабера сейчас, ну, точнее, как бы люди как бы вроде остались, я удивлен, то что даже спустя больше месяца меня там люди еще какие-то смотрели. Я сика охуел. Так, я, наверное, вот это запущу, думаю, и пойдет. Состояние ненормальное. Ну, тут где-то уж 3 человека меня только смотрело, вот хопа ушли, блин. Ужас. Короче, если так сказать, в принципе, я думаю, что сейчас скоро то, что вот я, наверное, скорее всего, буду это... Не сказать, что на регулярно основе пилить ролики, потому что сейчас у меня это время просто не будет, потому что мне и диплом надо правильно писать. А мне на это время вообще не будет, к сожалению. Вот прям обсол совсем. Так, вечером. А, вот он. Ну, здорово.
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to...
Shh! Keep your voice down. How do you come with me? We should take this...
О, сразу погнали.
This place should do. All right. Back to my...
Don't worry about that for now.
Wait. There's no need to jump the...
So what's in it for you and...
well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I waited in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity...
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of...
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first?
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something of...
All right, sheesh. They're always on the move. Here's the spot they... Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you, though.
Sure. And then you can...
Hey, come on.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap?
All right, I get it. What?
Now that's more like it. Let's move.
Она прям сразу мувает уже, блин, так резко, блин. Чисто до конца, блядь. Убивает, блин, конечно, это жесть. Так, лагерь теперь... Сколько? 3000? Ёб твою мать, 3000 метров. Это, блядь, почти за край нахуй пустыни. Вы что, кончены, что ли? Что вахту, блин. Какой-то половица врубил, блин, какого-то ютубера, блин. Что-то прикольно довольно. Такие неплохие тут и даже есть. Даже что-то есть тут, кстати. Так.
Seems like we're in. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves.
Погнали выяснять.
I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Yeah. Why are you here?
We'll see about that.
Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Да чё у него так ульта долго заряжается, я в ахуе.
Too late for regrets.
О, давай.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Here comes the catch. You asked for it.
Блять. Я что-то вообще не могу особо попробовать дехи здесь, потому что, блять, у него ульта пипец долго.
Enough fighting. We all know each other. Just bring Kusela to me. Did you understand a single word I just said?
All right, everyone, let's all... Dia, he died a long time ago.
Чего, блять? Погоди-ка. Погоди-ка, я сейчас кое-что вру. Подождите, что, блять?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Because a vision softly.
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though.
Ну,
At least that's
батя
the old
пришел
man
за
wanted.
хлебом, так и не вернулся. Помянем. Скорбим.
When did he die? What happened to him?
Ужас. Пиздец. Его реально нету теперь? Ебать, движ какой-то резкий, блядь. Охренеть.
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret's relic.
So is that when you guys started?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's relics must pay.
Let me start from the beginning.
Overwhelming strength and
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, that's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, but you, Dia. You were never
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's relics.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing. But in the end, he was just an ordinary. He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of...
And that's why he became a shell of himself.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beat when you left home after that final argument with him? He seemed to age by a decade overnight.
So, even the Blazing Beast?
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me. His words made no sense to me. But that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and raised everyone's records to act.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled. Not just from our... But how could we leave with a clear conscience?
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given, even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end. There were people from headquarters who changed their names, but we won't let any of them escape.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
Это как-то, блядь, ебать странно. То, что... Ну, с одной стороны, ладно. Батя у Дахи теперь после... Дахи просто все, теперь без бати осталось, по сути. Мать она не знает вообще. У него просто вообще никакого выбора по итогу не останется вообще от слов совсем. Ну, как бы она сама по себе живет в любом случае, но... А такого узнать такой... Ебать. Мне теперь отца не осталось, что ли? А что мне теперь делать, блядь?
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero story. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered, but maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. I'm sorry, Dia. I know you always...
Это, блядь, ебать, сейчас где-нибудь убутяшка, блядь.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dia?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. All I know is that Deshret's relics... Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along.
Yeah.
I can do this on my own.
Yeah. Paimon feels like...
Thank you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last...
Considering all the losses and injuries...
He can think whatever he wants, but the...
Ну, я перед ним большом долгу теперь. Ох, блядь, пиздец. Чё за ёбаная хуйня, блядь? Это какой-то ёбаный движ, пиздец, какой-то непонятный начался такой, блядь. Сначала туда, потом сюда, потом пэм-пэм-пэм-пэм. Ёбаный пиздец. Я в ахуе, блядь, сука, удержу вообще. У меня хоть, блядь, спит нахуй на подушке, блядь. У батареи, кстати, спит. Спит, короче. Тупо спит. А, блядь, я слепой нахуй. Так это хуйня просвет наверх. Тут прям меня уже направляет, типа, чел, блядь, не тупи нахуй, вот тебе, блядь, уже помогать надо нахуй. Так, идем наверх. Окей. Сейчас мы будем тупо сейчас гулять по этому месту. Блин, стрим уже идет больше часа. Я только сейчас дайхи сейчас буду заканчивать. Ужас. Жесть.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how.
Who cares? We'll round up.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could...
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with...
А, там еще и помогать будет. Ух ты, прикольно. Салам алейкум, ребят.
We'll see about that.
Let's light it up! Hi! Gotcha! Too late for regret!
Я хочу показать и победиться, блин.
Quietly now. Things are about to get tight.
I'm going in. Gloves off.
Need.
Да, короче, тут в этом плане Елани тут хуёво работает. Короче, на неё наложение пара не действует, я как понял, блядь. Это, блядь, ебать неприятно, конечно.
Everybody stand back.
Here comes the catch.
Ладно, я скажу дальше.
Squall Fury.
Охуеть.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Ебать, тут, блядь, этот нахуй собрался.
Wait! They were charging ahead without checking for any traps!
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got...
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that they...
Don't worry about us. We knew some... Let's go! We can't let the boss step.
Let's check if there's another way! The sooner we...
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being...
Okay, let's go!
Механизм тут еще ёманый. Ух. А, тут цвет надо поменять у него. Вот, да. Угу. Все как надо. Так, ладно, идем дальше.
Let's get it on.
Busted.
Короче, в этом плане, кстати, то, что ну, тут Беннет прям будет дико помогать Дехе, если она мне вдруг как-то будет стандарта, либо с программного гаранта, блять.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
Я по итогу остался что? А. Вот и все. Мимо искренность.
I'm going in. You asked for it.
Quietly now. Things are about to get tight.
Buckle up. Hi. Teamwork is dreamwork.
Unsightly insects.
Че с таких вообще по урону здесь? У него критов маловато, вот Ф. Ядрить у него реально критов маловато, зато каша у него ядри не фини, блин. Забавно. Это, конечно, ладно с мечом. Церемонка? Ладно. Я хочу почитать, что у него по атакам, а что она скейлится от ХП же вроде, да? Да, сила атаки и ХП. Но больше там зависит как раз сила атаки, поэтому и надо до хера сила атаки давать. Тут тоже скилл сила атаки от ХП. От максимального ХП. И все. Ну, короче, надо до хера атаки пихать. Но в этом плане, кстати, тут прям волчьи погибли, прям выигрывается, кстати, из доступных вариантов для нее, кстати. Если вдруг она мне выпадет, и спокойно могу волчьи погибель дать. И она будет себе там охуенно с ней бегать. Тут что за херня, блядь? А, погоди-ка, тут. Подожди, что-то тут немного не понял. Так, это теперь сверху, а это теперь надо поменять теперь цвет. Ура, победа. Ядрить, бачу за место. И что, типа аренка это лол. Ого. Он драгоценный сундук вижу.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through, but as a desert dweller,
Don't waste your breath.
Run. I witnessed the golden age of Deshret. Even now, the greatest should...
So you want to go...
Let us draw our... They are but two. Well...
Царя...
Wave one! Charge! Eliminate them!
Давайте, как говорится...
Gotcha. I'm going in. You're dead meat.
I'll be... You don't think that you won. We're just getting started.
Quietly now. Squall and fury.
King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers.
Просто тут это ёбаный разъёб, блядь.
Let's light it up. Teamwork is gloves off.
Кстати, сколько я атаки даю? Ну, плюс где-то почти косарь атаки и дал на первый раунд дополнительный.
Brothers! This is where we prove our faith.
Do you all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
Вот и всё.
The commander is finally...
But they're still coming at this place is like a gladiator's ring.
Yes! Keep fighting!
When the next wave comes, I'm going to see if I can take...
О. Тут наши бегают.
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Michel! So they...
Apologies, Lord Michal. They fight like...
So...
Time to pay for every...
I will be buried in the sand!
Что это за херня, блин?
Hey, wait!
What the fuck? Блин, такие еще звуки интересные, когда они такие шагают, блин. Стоп, чё?
We were too late!
It's over. There's no... But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called...
Hey, Dia! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Let's go.
Погнали. Бля, мне еще только фон интересно заиграл, блядь. Сейчас интересно, плейлист, конечно, я добавил себе, блин. Такие довольно годные треки бывают.
Take it easy.
Все для стрима неплохие треки, реально. А, куда?
Let's get it on!
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics and you...
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Why would I know?
This is your last...
Hey, I said if you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the
The irony. His life became a light for so many. Yet to others... Where's the records room?
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them.
I mean the old records.
The old records room? Kusela. Ah, watch your mouth. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw, but in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't. And after that, Deshret...
Stop wasting our time. Tell me.
It's just over there. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could... Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave you up. Spare them no mercy.
Вот любопытно, блядь. Вопрос, а что вот здесь вообще такое? Это типа реликвия какая-то осталась, что ли, после царя? Видимо, не знаю, но как-то прям светится, как будто это прям какая-то реликвия, реально. Что-то мне это не очень нравится, честно. А, вот архив.
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past... If he was nimble enough to do that, then he... I'm sorry.
Ну, что-то найдется. Опа, это что?
Is this a cane?
Kusela.
Трость его осталась.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more.
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Погоди-ка. Она что-то заподозрила. Вопрос. О, Кассена. Что, блядь? Это что за... И правда.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
Охренеть.
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dia has slain it.
Its
head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all.
Я это в телегу выложу.
Come on, this is the most important line.
Привет, Камила.
You can do it.
Пипец, она такая милаха, когда она маленькая.
You defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
Пипец. Да. Они же те же самые еще остались до конца. Зло повержено.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad.
Пиздец. Вот сейчас уже, блядь, сикло пошло дикое. Пиздец.
What's this?
Don't you remember? You asked, and Paimon said that she would get boatloads of... These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's... Hey! This way you get something from the both of us for... Anyway, the point is that you, Dunyarzad, will also...
Aw, thanks, you two. Honestly, my chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me, but when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me.
Сука, грустно.
Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But my reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different? Despite all my promises about never forgiving him, and we're hypocrites. All of us. Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often own—
You're back! Are all of you alright?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over and... Huh?
Paimon will explain.
Да. А, она разрыдалась.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well.
Dia, your pain must be even worse.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, my father probably thought that people could settle into— That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part—
I understand how you—
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a— Even if the ending of the story may be—
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we—
Right. You said you want—
Come along, too.
Да, миссия интересная.
I can't thank you enough for taking—
Блин. Немножко такая милая концовка, я считаю, но, блин, с таким грустным концом. Ну, милая уже, как говорится, приключение уже к концу, но с грустненькой такой концовкой. Потому что она уже поняла, что она теперь больше... То есть она уже теперь по итогу реально сама по себе. Это, конечно,
this rug here is...
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who bit it? Wait, are you—
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you on a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be up once I woke up. I hurried to the Khan al-Akhmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence.
Блять, чел, который озвучил, он прям гений, кстати, он прям, ну, походу, прям подтягнешь передал. Я так примерно говорю.
When I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably—
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp, I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, one of the injured members gave this box. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated. So I—
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge him.
So this box contains everything that Dia's father—
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did— But let's see, what's this? It's just a bunch of junk.
Perhaps it—
A handwritten copy of a storybook. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could—
That probably means this was real—
Ah, and here are a few bags of children's snacks. The package—
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was— Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wool scarf, which, from the looks of it, probably belonged to a woman. I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He two empty liquor bottles.
Huh? There's some—
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't— I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finish to Dia. It's a letter from me? It's all right. I'll just read it out. If you went to—
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose you were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group. But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or...
Can you believe this guy?
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know, not the reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
Чего?
Wait, what?
Что? То есть он даже не его отец вовсе? Чё за...
Surely,
I don't...
I was quite formidable. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day and discovered a baby. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little, but your cries were so loud they made my head hurt.
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long. I was their most esteemed leader after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father.
Пиздец. Тогда, кажется, даже и батя не его, блядь. Чё за нахуй? Чё за пиздец, блядь? То есть, походу, она была подкидышем просто, блядь. То есть, неизвестно кто, кем, блядь, кто, откуда она вообще, блядь, кто ее родители и реальные, блядь. То есть, походу, тут совсем другая ситуация выходит.
Anyway, Dia, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
Жесть.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child. I suppose, or I would have suffocated.
he was a good father to you.
Yeah. It's just a pity that we had to learn the truth.
Do you already have some idea?
I do. If he first found me, I just have one wish. To tell them that there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I...
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us?
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I'll help too.
Thank you. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
Это хорошо. По крайней мере, хотя бы она себя нашла что-то. Все, наконец мы прошли сюжет. И на это ушло почти 2 часа, кстати. Жесть. Короче, наверное, думаю, скорее всего, я лучше пройду сегодня бездну. Короче, пойду-ка сейчас бездну пройду лучше сейчас, реально. Не хочу с этим тянуть. Хотя... Я уж не знаю, есть смысл сейчас проходить, в общем, мне... Так, тут тихо, пока на стриме вообще ужас. Так. Хочу, короче, сейчас к бездну, наверное, пройти и думаю, посмотрим, что дальше будем делать. Бездна. Так. Разостание обострения, волна. Окей, ничего особого. А, кстати, мобы там другие. Нет, я же, кстати, те же остались. Я думал, сейчас как патч новый, типа, сразу будет новые. И, видимо, нет. Окей. Так, ладно, тут уже включу свой плейлист. Ладно, погнали пока чистить. Сейчас пока будет более скучненький такой ран.
Busted. Have fun with this game. Everybody stand.
Behold.
Quietly now.
Teamwork is strength. Cry louder. Upon the gale.
Illusion shot. Rain cutter. Time to act. Body and mind.
Clouds high. The birds hunt.
Shine down. Now you shall perish. Booba, get them.
Let me weave you a verse.
One with nature.
Музыка не такая громкая. Я прям так часа драйвово играю, блядь, если так сказать.
The wind knows me.
No, my sword. Let's light it up. Gears of the storm.
Things are about to get dicey.
Squall and fury.
Everybody stand back. Let's light it up.
Unsightly insects. The wind rises. How amusing.
Going in.
Game's up. Fun's over. Gotcha.
We'll see about it. Illusion shattered. Eat this.
Into the wind.
Torn to oblivion.
Rain outlines your fate. Rain.
There is no escape.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. The wind knows me.
Shine down.
Time to act.
No, my sword.
Too slow.
Quietly now.
Truth repeats its course.
Squall and fury.
Things are about to get tight.
The wind rises.
Бля, как бы удобно со Скайра реально так бегать прям вот. Бегишь и все по кайфу. Да, это прям кайфово реально.
Let me weave you a verse.
No clouds high. The birds call.
Inazuma shines eternal. Ha! Ha!
Чисто, блин, треки, блин, тут, конечно, да. Интересно, я тут скажу.
following me.
Teamwork is...
Quietly now.
Gears of the storm.
Squall and fury.
Gotcha. Let's light it up. I'm going in.
Game's up. Fun's over.
Have fun with this game.
Cry louder. The wind rises.
Бля, даже скапу просто шинки и всех, блядь. Вообще на раз-два, блядь.
There is no escape. Get them. Witness the power of good.
As one with wind and cloud.
Eat this. Torn to oblivion. Shine down.
Wind strike. Rain outlines your...
Nice and spicy.
Да, он, конечно, это прям мне чисто сердечки был.
Busted.
Dare to mess with me? Everybody stand back! Gears of the storm!
Things are about to get dicey.
Squall and fury. Search for it. You're dead.
Блядь, заебали, блин.
Going in!
Unsightly insects. Behold.
Не-не-не, нифига. Иди-ка ты в жопу, блин, со своим этим пробуждением, блядь.
Illusion shot.
Сейчас, блядь. Сейчас, на нас даже с тобой поговорим.
Rain outlines your fate.
Inazuma shines eternally.
Что-то так светло, и он ладно, просто все формы, чтобы не подмешался.
Let's light it up!
Quietly now.
We'll see about that. Truth repeats itself. Teamwork is strict.
Game's up. Fun's over.
Squall and fury. Upon the gate.
Не-не. Лучше давайте без этого дойдем.
Shine down.
One with nature.
Let me weave you a web. Know my sword.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Now you shall perish. Over here.
Into the wind.
Get them.
Witness the power of good.
Illusion shattered.
Чей будто мне битрейте надо искать кадры и передвигать ёбаный. Так, ладно, 20 этаж. Все так же берем. Так, 12 пачка мы сейчас поменяем. Ну, сейчас тут я пока так побегаю, а потом уже тут я по-другому буду. А, тут же этот, блядь, папоротник. Ладно, тогда я ее тут возьму. А, давай тогда вот так вот сделали. Тогда возьму тут так вот, а тут возьму Йому. Блять, только мне надо поменять, блядь. Потому что у меня лук стоит, сука, на тарталетке, блядь. Ух, сука. Хочу Йому взять. Я микса не бегал уже. Это моя Йома. Конечно, хочу взять, побегать. Под саком чисто, блядь, будет бегать. А тут я... А, слушай, давай тогда заодно сейчас тогда я один. Потому что Мика возьмем 12 позже. Ну, не хорошо опять. Так. Хотя мне не обязательно тут иметь, кстати, этого дамагера. Я мог просто взять кого-то другого. Просто казака, что ли, брать. Ну, казака тогда ладно. Хотя не варик. Я вместе я вот сюда прям все это назвал кучку. Да, тут сюда вот так поставим. Я все поверю. Я прямо в них чуть не брал в руки.
Emerge right now. Rain cutter. Emerge. Right here. Shine down. Body in the. Emerge right here. Right now. Everyone hold hands. Illusion shattered. Emerge right here. Inazuma shines eternal. There is no escape. Right now.
I see everything. Share my knowledge.
Let me weave you a verse. Rain outlines your fate. A sight to behold. Emerge right here. Torn to oblivion.
Помер. Где он? Лучник. Так.
Order guide you.
Up to the super priest.
Crumble.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Here comes the catch.
Stabilize.
Time for a light show.
О, нормально, я буду урон. Хуя себе. Мне даже интересно, как она будет играться, блядь, не. 12 ван тут, наверное, мне придется. 12 этажей мне придется хваталки брать. В этом плане будет эффективнее. Силань. Ну да, силань.
Make yourselves a room.
Inazuma shines eternal. Shine down. Show them. Right now. Emerge.
Hey,
Witness the power of Gua.
share my knowledge.
I'm always watching. Right now. Right here. Emerge.
Как ты сюда быстро чистишься? Да, что убегаться. А, блядь.
Everybody stand back. Go bishop down. Fire hazard. Take it easy.
Stabilize.
Let's light it up.
I will have order.
I'm going in. Let's light it up.
Rise.
Gotcha. Teamwork is strength. Here comes the fireworks. Fuse is lit. Quietly now. Venture. we go. Take these. Fire hazard. Adventure. I'm going in. Game's up. Fun's over.
Gather.
Let's light it up. Time for a light show.
Вообще похуй, блядь, честно под пивас нахуй съемный. Под пивас, типа. Пьем она под пивас.
Right now, emerge. I see everything.
No, my sword.
Right now. Everyone hold hands.
There is no escape.
Hey,
Let me try my
the Temple of Wisdom.
Emerge. Rain cutter. Rain outlines your fate.
Nothing lasts forever.
Now you shall perish.
Right now, right here. Commit it to memory.
Let me weave you a verse.
Ебать, урон довольно огромный, кстати, от этого, блядь. Так, что папоротник остался со мной?
Gotcha. Fire hazard. Didn't kill it. Let's light it up.
crumble. Stabilize.
Everybody stand back. Go the ship down. Time for a light show. Let's light it up.
This is order.
I'm going in. Here comes the catch. Fire hazard.
Нормально. Так, тут мы уже с кута побегаем. А, подожди. Вот так вот. Все. Тут сейчас будем чисто, блин, хуярить как ебланы. Ох, хотя тут особо париться не начнет, тут даже бездна, только с другими бафами.
Right now. Right here. Sharing my knowledge. This may turn a little.
Everybody stand back. Torn to oblivion.
Emerge. Temple of Wisdom.
Teamwork is true.
I'm always watching. Right now. Emerge. Right now.
Inazuma shines eternal.
На нахуй сюда, блядь, дала, блядь.
Committed to memory.
I'm going in.
Sharing my knowledge. Emerge. Right here. Right now.
Illusion shattered. Let's move.
Sight to behold. I see everything.
Teamwork is true. There is no escape.
Right here. Emerge. Right now. This may turn a little. Make yourselves a room.
Now you shall perish.
Я такое ощущение, как мне игра иногда лагает, что за хуйня, блядь. Либо это из-за того, что герцовка у меня такая интересная, блядь. Да не, с кадром все нормально было. Просто, блядь, из-за того, что у меня 165 Гц, типа кажется, что типа на стриме все плавно, а у меня нет.
with nature.
Things are about to get dicey.
Higher, higher, pants on fire!
Solidify!
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
I will have order.
Gather!
Game's up. Fun's over.
Time to go to work.
Clouds high.
Time to go!
На нахуй по 200 почитала. Охуеть.
Now you're testing my patience.
Бать. Хуя себе. Это, кстати, между прочим, я вала ведьму тоже собрал. Да-да. Теперь на фул вала ведьма она теперь бегает, блядь. Я в ахуе. Насколько ведьмы тут либо ибут.
Hey! Everybody stand back! The Temple of Wisdom! Inazuma shines eternal! Illusion shot!
Right now. Right now.
Больно было.
I'm going in! Share my knowledge! There is no escape!
Так,
We go! Let's light it up! Everybody stand back! Everyone
как я
move
бабку
in!
будет работать тут.
Right here. Emerge. What a dreadful ending.
Ох, сука, эти твари бесит, блядь, пиздец. Тут без щита реально очень будет сложно их убивать. Даже если у меня нормальная тема. Это будет тяжело.
Illusion shot! Hey! I'm going in!
Emerge. Right now.
What a nuisance! Torn to oblivion!
This will do!
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Вообще не буду защищать.
There is no escape!
Right here. Emerge. Right here.
Everyone hold hands! Let's light it up! Make yourself a home!
Так, ладно, это
I'm always watching. Everybody stand back! Now you shall perish!
А чем мне надо тут стрелятника ёбнуть, он, блин, может бесит. Ну, Скорпион, блин, тоже разложительный пиздец. Они все, блядь, нахуй висячие твари.
I see everything! I'm going in!
Emerge. Right now. Emerge.
Опять ожог остался.
Why do they never miss? That's gonna hurt in the morning.
Да ты пропусти, сука! Это что было? Я ульту пустил, она у меня умерла. Это либо какой-то баг был, либо какой-то момент просто не успел. Хотя это когда буду смотреть, что-то я, наверное, что-то у меня было.
A sight to behold. Right now. Right here.
Venture time.
Everyone hold hands! Share my knowledge!
There is no escape.
Right now.
Venture.
I'm ready!
Teamwork is dreamwork.
Emerge. Right now.
Cut down!
I see everything!
Let's light it up.
Right here.
Так, касаемся сначала, блядь.
The
Потом
Temple of
вырываемся.
Wisdom!
Ow! Everybody stand back.
Nothing lasts forever.
Inazuma shines eternal.
Куда ты полетел, блядь? Я вообще-то тебя пока что чизить буду.
Right now. Right here. Right now.
So much.
Блядь, они какие нахуй юбища, блядь. Они такие, блядь, сука. Ладно, не буду уж, блядь, бомбить. Просто они сами по себе реально тяжелые без щитов. Прям реально их пиздит очень тяжело, блядь.
Emerge.
Let's get down to business.
Даже если пачкал нормально, то, блядь,
Let's light it up. Teamwork is dreamwork.
во-первых, он не резистит ко всему.
Yourself a home!
30% валится к своему элементу, то тут вообще 60%. Вообще интересно, мне для стороны у всех. Бешеные резисты. Представляете, нахуй убивать, блядь, не двоих, блядь, а 4, блядь, нахуй. Всех масси, блядь, короче, убивать. Ты, блядь, охуеешь, блядь. Скорее всего, такого. Потому что убивать их всех 4, блядь, ты охуеешь, нахуй. Причем подряд, блядь. И они, ботики, короче, нахуй сами по себе. Я, наверное, думаю, если такая хуйня будет, это вообще такая ебаная хуйня. Это просто будет, блядь. Все это говно проходить. Надо мне это что? Надо этого, блядь. Просто, блядь, на хиду нахуй угрохали в момент, блядь. Это вообще пиздец. Я похуй их, блядь, просто так, блядь. То есть просто надо, блядь, там, где надо нахуй не словить, чтобы, блядь, просто не умереть. И все, блядь.
Grow. Let's light it up. Emerge right here, right now. I'm going in. I'm ready. Why do they never miss? I see everything. The Temple of Wisdom. Everybody stand back. Now you shall perish. Emerge.
Так, я уже сразу посчитал его атаку, блядь. Мне что-то них пока держаться чуть подальше, пока не с этих хреней.
A sight to behold. Torn to oblivion. There is no escape. Sharing my knowledge.
Так, все, одного сбили.
Right here. Insolent. Illusion shut. Everybody stand back. Now you shall perish.
Так, у меня есть 1,5 минуты, мне думаю, хватит. Я там уже забыл. А, там кенты сраные, сука.
Stabilize. One with nature, as one with wind and cloud.
Here comes the catch. Shot's over.
Там один вообще в стороне стоит, ему вообще пол лет. Это нормально, блядь, чел?
Order guide you.
Quietly now.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
Things are about to get dicey.
The wind knows me. This is order.
Так, ну все.
Stabilize. As one with wind and cloud.
Higher, higher, pants on fire. Go.
Here comes the catch. Gotcha.
Кинки такие тушные, блядь, сами по себе, это вообще пиздец. Ух, ладно, благо я их убил так быстро. С первой попытки, между прочим, пришел.
There is no escape. Let's light it up. Commit it to memory. Make yourself at home. Hey. Teamwork is strict. Right now. I'm always watching. Torn to oblivion. Persona, right here. Emerge.
Everyone hold in.
Teamwork is strength. Inazuma shines eternal. Illusion shattered. Right now, right here. Emerge. Let's light it up.
Grow, grow, grow.
I'm going in. A sight to behold. Right now.
Так, минута 48.
Time to go to work.
Solidify. One with nature.
Busted.
Clouds high. The birds.
Game's up. Fun's over.
I will have order.
It's time to go. Go.
Fire coming with foretold.
Stretch your wings and raise a storm.
Gotcha.
Be a good audience, won't you?
Into the wind.
Here comes the catch.
Блять. Ладно, у меня минута, я не буду тратить сейчас.
Quietly now.
One with wind and clouds.
No.
This is order.
Ебать, а у него были охуели. Ой, сука.
Busted. Things are about to get dicey.
Higher, higher, pants on fire.
Quietly now.
Вот и все. Иланка завершила свой спектакль. Меньше чем за час, кстати, все это зачистил. Поэтому нормально. Менее чем за час. Барабум. Убрали. ППшку получили. Пятый год сразу получаем. Смола. Ура, смола. Конечно, я ждал, блядь, потому что я уже густой смолы вообще нету, блядь. Там. Ой, блядь, пропустил. Все помочь. Так, ну найс. Так. Я, скорее всего, думаю, наверное, скорее всего, встречу с Фурзаном приду сам. А вообще лучше, давай, я лучше, наверное, сюжет пройду сам лично. Хочу лично сам это на это глянуть, потому что не особо хочу как-то в себе получить впечатление. Поэтому напоследок мы пойдем-ка мы на этот... На эту, блядь, как там... Блядь, на Фурзан мы пойдем, короче. На свечу Фурзан. Он прям только еще светит, кстати, этот квест. Он прям такой фон, у него интересно появился, кстати, реально. Как бы сюжет, туда-сюда, все, блядь. Прям здесь хороший будет. Так, ладно. Идем с Фурзан делать. Уж интересненько какого-нибудь там встреча с Фурзан. Парис надо идти. Ну, то самое элитное место для учеников. Хотя клуб учеников студенты. Нормально треки, блядь. Damn.
Even though most of the academia's restrictions have significantly relaxed, I'm still a bit worried that the Matra might give her trouble.
Подвал Ропи, привет. Здорово. Здорово, здорово.
I need to stay here to keep an eye on the situation. Kale, can you head to Sumeru?
Does
О,
it
Кали тут.
have To be me?
I'd only assign a job this important to someone.
Oh no, I'm fine. I've
Блин, тут коллег,
completely
конечно.
recovered. It's just that if I'm going to see her,
Там.
I think I need to mentally
Она
prepare
немножко потише
myself
сделала
first.
споте, и это... Проблема уже тот самый плориц, который... на котором сидел. Ой. Так. Ох. Стабильно вроде вот так. Один топ, да? Блин, ё-моё. Купец.
I know. You'll have a tough time if you go by yourself. If we could arrange for someone to accompany you...
Я могу чем-то помочь?
Oh, hey there.
It's been a while. What a coincidence. I was just thinking about asking you to accompany Kale to Sumeru City. Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just that this matter... Also, you happen to know about this situation? There are very few people I can trust to be discreet right
Даже,
now.
кстати, прикол то, что...
After giving it much thought, I believe you're the
Кстати,
most suitable
это
person
последний
for
раз,
the
когда вот
task.
здесь я буду слушать озвучку Тигнария, ну, эту сейчас озвучку, потому что же после этого же все. Контакт же с этим, с актером, короче, уже все расторгли. После этого патча все, если будет Тигнарий участвовать, будет уже другой голос, скорее всего. Такие вот дела.
It's complicated, and this isn't the best place to talk about it. We'll fill you in on the... You might have heard about her in Sumeru before. Her name is Faruzan, and she's a very experienced senior researcher. Let's just say that a huge part of Kasharawar's mechanical research, she is. But she vanished for 100 years because of a certain incident.
Подчеловек.
She only returned to the academia after being found in the wilderness a few years ago.
Только по воле несчастном случае исчезла из мира на целый век.
Because of that, her current personality can be a bit strange, as is her attitude.
I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
She doesn't have bad intentions, so you don't have...
I'll try.
Yes, Kasharawar and Spontamod researchers are, however, Faruzan isn't influenced by modern thinking. It's already past our arranged meeting time, but she still hasn't shown up. I don't think so. With her personality, anyway. Can you go with Kale to the academia and check on
Thank goodness. I was so anxious.
I'm counting on you
Калей
too.
такая снежашка чисто, блин, когда гуляет.
Don't push yourself too hard.
Чисто с
Just
Фарузан
go
тут
there
дело
and see
плохи.
what's going on. Our task is important, but not that urgent. If Faruzan really is in some trouble, after all, if she's distracted by other things, it'll affect her ability to...
All right, let's go.
Погнали. Так, что нам тогда идти аж в академию идти? А, прям внутрь. Уже святую академию идти. Офигеть, академия, вау. Ох уж эти академии. А, сразу тут.
Sorry, what did you say?
Farzan, I said that you need to...
Yes.
Your hearing is... Madam, isn't this rather problematic as an advisor? Never mind.
And who, if I may ask, complained? If they... You don't have to tell me anything. I very well know that it's those people from Maravatat. How I wish they'd put their time...
But, Madam Farzan, it has...
Academic contribution cannot in any case. Makes no sense to use a metric like this
И
to
такая она
evaluate a
злюка,
mentor.
блин. Как злюка, когда она, типа, сомневается, блин.
Wait, Madam Farzan...
That's her, all right. But the person with her doesn't look... Shh! She hates... Her body apparently stopped aging during the year she was gone. So that's why she looks the same as she did 100 years ago.
Anyway, Akara Crafts and the leader of Kasharawar, they're wondering if you'd be interested.
Ah, Kale! Why are you here at the
Ой,
academia?
боже.
Are you feeling better now?
Ебать, у нее такой эмози такая. Она, блин, реально как будто сердечко, блин, скопила. Вот так вот, блядь. Если типа вот так вот, блядь. Ну, это прям пипец намек такой.
I'm much better, Madam Farzan. Have you been sleeping well? You seem to be developing some eye back. No, it's because I'm a slow learner. It's good to be hardworking, but you need to take care of your health. I'll have to give Tainari a right Ah, and is the person beside you the legendary traveler? Oh, I've heard much about you before. In fact, I've been meaning to meet you for a while. It is thanks to you, after all, that the academia is finally getting back on its feet.
Да, это интересно, конечно, тут.
Madam Far.
I'd wager it's those Kasharawar dunderheads finding excuses so that I'd go to.
If you're, it might be difficult to teach a course with topics that only fall. You can teach a course or participate in a collaborative project. If you don't do either, it'll be hard for me to persuade the advisors and.
Could you not give me a few more days to consider? This matter has been delayed for so long.
That's precisely the issue. If you don't.
What a waste of free time these folks are. Now you two are here at Tainari's behest, Of course. What now? She seems so... Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at Party's DI, so he hasn't returned to Gandharville for several days now. I feel for Madame Farazan, but if I get her in trouble with the academia...
А, тут уже выбор, скорее всего, то есть, типа... Давай, скорее всего, попробуем второй пока.
But if someone does complain to the academia, and if the academia investigated and found her, do you have some way to invite her over to Party's DI without stepping on the academia's toes? Okay, then.
Погнали. Выяснять.
I have to teach students from Haravatat, or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than... Madame Farazan, we're back! Sorry for asking. Well, since you're asking...
Please, Madame Farazan, focus! Today's the... Huh?
Yes. Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise, I would have reported... Yeah! That's right! Master sent us...
Wait. Opportunities. Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame...
A fully automated irrigation...
A fully automated...
Precisely. It's a
Походу,
system that
Фрозен
can
разыграл саму
automatically adjust the
ситуацию.
amount of water it provides based on the season and the plant species involved.
Kindle the duck.
I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a ruin in the rainforest. That's why Tainar...
A mechanism like that exists? Why haven't I heard of it before?
I found it 100 years ago. So it's only natural that you don't know about it. Why don't you go ask your teacher's teacher? Perhaps they've heard about it from their teacher.
But we can't prove its existence.
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official
proposal. I'll go inform my superiors now. Please.
Sure. I'll be sure to needle him until he gets it done. Phew. I think she bought it. Even though this is our first meeting. Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Who knows? It's been 100 years, so it wouldn't be too surprising if I've forgotten a few... Huh? I'll let Tainari worry about whatever If I'm right, the request he has in store for me won't be any simpler than the academia nonsense.
Чего бы и нет. Загадочный процесс. Профессор уже вот. Пардис обратно вернуться.
You don't have to shout. Well, you got here much faster.
Thanks to the traveler, I was able...
On to others.
We can discuss that later.
That's right.
Что за предмет какой-то? Скитание для китения. Прям название интригующее.
Take it easy.
Это тот, который сюжет остался. Карката.
Don't be scared, Kale. This is the mechanical life form. It's the final work of a late...
You mean Abatui? You must have been a genius to create one of such polish all by. It's uncommon that a SpongeMod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. If you were still around. Something seems wrong here.
Karkata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. I've taken a few courses conducted by SpongeMod before, so I've managed to perform some. My knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further.
Not necessarily. Mechanical life forms are created using techniques from alchemy, elemental science, and more.
Наука, алхимия.
There are multiple modules here that influence each other. A simplistic knowledge of mechanisms will not serve
No.
here. You know that as well. Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure if my understanding of mechanical life forms is going to be of any use to our little crab friend here.
Милому крабу.
Karkata, can you all go outside for a minute? I need a bit of space.
All right.
Okay.
We'll wait here till Faruzan finishes her inspection. Her past, huh? I've told you before that she disappeared for 100 years, right? From her perspective, her exact words...
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from wall to wall.
Теория был заполнен механизм с секретными шифрами.
I did all I could to decipher the code and deactivate the traps to escape the ruin, but there was no way out. I lost track of time and I ran out of pen and paper. In the end, I had to use stone shards. Then, before I realized it, I ran out of space on the walls and floor. I had to calculate all... After that, my memory started to become fuzzy, and my cognition slowed down.
She doesn't remember anything else, including when she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago. She looked exactly the same as she did 100 years prior. However, she was in a stupor and struggled to form sentences. The academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped, and because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to use those 100 years to crack the trapping mechanism. Though she had finally broken free, 100 years had passed. Everyone she knew, and everyone who knew her was already gone. In the end, even the academia had to rely on century-old records in the Akasha to confirm her. Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. She wouldn't want others to... Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error. As a researcher, she must accept everything that results from her experiments. Even after going through so much, she's due to changes over the years and drift in academic subjects. She holds some rather strong opinion. What I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, Faruzan is she has her own deep understanding of various ruins and machines. If there's a chance, you should talk about...
Master, Madame Faruzan's done.
Oh? Let's head over.
Ну, что-то тут есть.
I never thought that I'd encounter a restitution module once. If my guess is correct, this mechanical life form has displayed attempts at self-sustenance before.
It used them for something else, but as far as it...
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, Karkata's Abatui's modified this module extensively, but the core parts and design philosophy are very similar to the creators of the Ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual mechanism that could replace life or even surpass it. The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts. It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function. However, the energy required in maintenance of the module became an issue. Energy consumption? Maintenance? For example, a living thing's heart can deliver nutrients and blood to various organs. However, the bigger the living thing, once the heart is damaged, it'll be hard for that living thing to heal itself. And even the function of other... Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Oh dear. This is going to be a based on my current research. I'll need to swap out the damaged parts and... But like I just said, the module is rare. Even by the standards of finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in the vast desert. To say nothing of the difficulty in making those parts from scratch. One can only wonder where
I might have an idea. Abatui was, for a time...
You mean to say he found a restitution module? But the desert's huge! How are we supposed... According to the Academia's records, no similar parts have been found in the great...
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after the sandstorms and earthquakes subsided.
Should we ask them if they've made any new discoveries? Like, the chances are slim. But it's at least more effective than running around like headless chickens.
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the Hypostyle Desert. Let's go look for him once Karkata settles down.
Oh, you and Kale should probably stay. Karkata's condition may be stable. Besides, you still need to take care of
Trouble from the academia?
I'll let Kale fill you in.
Как говорится, одно на другое, блять. Там что было? Сейчас будто там где-то застрял, блять. Ладно. Недалеко.
Мои глаза тут светят. Флешка.
Я просто монитор такой светлый, что это прям такой. Флешка въебала, блять. Это еще из-за камеры, то что она, блять, не могут тупить иногда, порой. Ох ты. Мертвый, кстати, дракон.
What is this?
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed any further. That still won't do. Mr. Raid...
Damage the site? I've excavated.
He isn't at the campsite now. You should all leave.
What a stubborn guy. You're right. Even if there is new information, I'm going to give that Raid a good talking to when he gets...
Ох же, Раид, блин.
The ruins. Don't know. Forget excavation.
That machine looks amazing. The location seems to...
Легендарный руинный скиталец. А, вот тут, наверное, Раид. Нет, посмотрим тут.
This area used to be ravaged by frequent sandstorms. They say that this was done by a single trap.
А, ну да, тут раньше же я тут все гласовал.
Well, I found out everything I could. Is there anything that stands out to you? The villagers were hired to deliver supplies, but they have. However, I'm more concerned about this ruin wanderer. That's the first time I've heard that name. It's a bit far away, and I can't really say for sure from this distance.
Huh? What are you guys doing back here? I wouldn't blame you for not knowing about it, youngsters. It's said that this monster, the Ruin Wanderer, traversed. Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like... Then, about 10 years ago, we stopped hearing any news about it, and you youngsters probably don't know about the Ruin Wanderer nowadays.
Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Wait, back then?
Indulge my curiosity for a moment. Why do you think that reckon?
Well, I had all...
You heard that nonsense from the Aramites after they got drunk.
Who are you?
Madam Faruzan, it is a pleasure. I'm Raid, the one who... I'd heard of you at the Academia, but I didn't expect... And this must be the...
Have you found any special contraptions and relics in the ruins that you've been investigating?
I'm ashamed to say that we haven't found any...
Really? That ruin
I'm afraid those are mere rumors. The wise do not buy into rumors, so it is said.
It is also said that real knowledge shall come from practice. I can help you research the excavated relics and see if you can take credit for any new discoveries. I believe this offer to be sufficiently...
In truth, however, you two must be tired. It's getting late and my subordinates and I are heading... There's a tent that the villagers occasionally use to rest. It's a bit...
Since you need to rest as well, let's do just that.
Окей, отдохнем. Чё бы и нет.
This is quite far away. Are they trying to prevent the villagers from... Now, I have my suspicions about this archaeological but based on the condition of the armor and joints, it didn't seem like something that had been lying around for centuries. At most, yes. The timing coincides with the spreading of the legend. Now, How do you suppose it was able to maintain a relatively good condition despite... That's right. Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on... Well, this was over 100 years ago. It was a machine about the same size as Carcata, actually. It couldn't carry heavy objects or fight, and was only... It also helped me deliver letters home. I found it near the desert, which is why I wondered if there might be more restitution modules. Honestly, people in ancient times might have already solved the problem of providing enough power for all I know. We'll need to research this properly.
Так, я еще сейчас не ёпнул.
Had I confronted Raid right there and then, he would have said that he couldn't tell that the machine was special. Then he'd just hand it over to the... If the wreckage were to be handed to the academia, it'd be much tougher for us to do research on it or get spare parts for Carcata. Anyway, we should figure out... They insisted that we should stay the night, which means if they're trying to pull a fat...
Так, ладно.
Are those sounds coming from the excavation site? I knew they wouldn't be able to wait. Not a single person guarding the campsite. I'll see if they left any clues behind at their camp. Keep watch and help me stall. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't the tent here yet? We need to switch it out to...
It's still on the way. I'm afraid...
You good-for-nothings are just a load of Hurry up and hide our current tent.
Huh? Who's there?
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset because my subordinates aren't doing... it's nothing. Just a tent. We didn't pack up all our tents from the... Someone damaged our current tent, so I'm trying to get my subordinates to get one from that... The relics in the ruins are highly valuable, so... I'm worried that treasure hoarders and bandits might try to steal... Well, these things are antiques after all. There will always... Speaking of which, I'd like to ask... Also, where's Far...
I'm right here. Also, you forgot to address me as Madam.
Sorry, Madam.
You were all making so much noise that I couldn't sleep, which is why I got the Traveler to find out what was going on. But for...
I'm very sorry for disturbing your...
Good. Come on, Traveler. Yes, we came to check out this... We should get better rest so that we'll have...
Неужели мне показалось? Она типа подмигнула или показалось? Короче, я понял. Она что-то удумала, блядь. Мы такие типа уйдем, она такая одна такая. Разберемся.
Thanks for dealing with that. Now, I found something good on my end. According to them, the ruins have been raided before. I also observed the wreckage up close earlier. The weathering is nowhere near as extensive as on the relics that have been buried for over... There's no doubt that the wreckage and the ruins don't belong to the same era. Instead, it must have I could have fallen into a trap or encountered a glitch within the ruins. However, I still don't know why they'd want to hide it. The last few pages of the excavation records are written in code, which I still need time to decipher. It's just wordplay.
Шифры.
Help! Please help! Why are you running away?
What's that sound? The Ruin Wanderer? Reactivated? That's impossible! Is this the work of some... What? It ignored the...
Why is it chasing after us?
What could have caused it to reactivate?
Darn it! Hey, come on, you lot! It's clear that...
Что это было?
It stopped. Hey, you guys!
But what if it suddenly moved?
You good... Looks like this thing's parts can't handle the load. When it first reactivated, I was wondering if it'd be as
Disappointing, you say? Now, is that because you won't be able to sell it?
Faru-san, you may be my senior as an academe...
You wrote these excavation records, did you not? January 5th. 3/10, January 10th. One special tent pre-sold. It must quickly be switched out with an old tech. You're supposed to be an archaeological expedition team, and yet here you are, secretly selling the relics and when you believed that you had found the wreckage of the ruined wanderer, you tried to. After all, there would probably be many wealthy buyers interested in purchasing the legendary ruined wanderer, and that forced you to speed up your plan, and you tried to complete the switch overnight before I could invest.
I don't.
You lack the curiosity befitting a man of knowledge, nor.
Ridiculous curiosity.
Mr. Aid!
Behind you.
Ой-ой.
Why is it moving again? Run! Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast.
Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis.
Фига.
However, I'm.
Что какой-то движ внезапно пошел?
Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back.
Why is it chasing us?
So you've been looking for me this whole time?
Значит, на самом деле ты все время искал меня. Охуеть. Погоди. Это то есть его, блядь? Скиталец? Который 100 лет прожил, пока она, блядь, точилась где-то в ебенях целый век. Охуеть. Опа, это кто?
Long time no see, Tamimi.
Тамими. Ебать, милое имя. Охуеть, это касса все-таки.
Dear Farazan, I hope you're doing well. It has been over 20 years since you went missing. People from the academia keep telling us to give up and that you're most like, but somehow I feel like you've always been persistent, able to shine no matter what situation you face. Unfortunately, I likely won't be able to welcome you home when you do. Only Tamimi is still the same as before, always running off to places which your teacher and friends came up with an idea to remodel Tamimi. You didn't like coming home back then and would always get Tamimi to send a letter back. I don't know the answer to that question, but if you ever read this, I regret not being able to say this to you myself. But I'll still feel sincerely happy for you, my dear daughter.
Так это, оказывается, письмо от мамы. Ого. Охренеть. Так мама все-таки уверена, что она жива.
Welcome home, Farazan. Look at you, Tamimi. You've changed so much after all. I've safely received the letters. Tamimi, the mechanical life form I encountered back then. When I met with that accident, it was on the way to. I didn't expect my teacher and others to remodel its self-repair function, upgrading it to self. And so, in order to plumb the depths of unknown ruins and overcome dangerous traps, it repaired and modified Tamimi, which used to be incapable of even moving heavy objects, became the ruined wanderer.
И маленький Тамин, который был не способен сдвинуться с места. Ебать. Охуеть, Фарузан просто сделала легенду просто из нихуя, блядь. По факту. Ну, типа, по ее инициативе, типа. Ну, типа, это ебать пиздец. Честное слово, я не могу в ахуе. Да, это жесть.
The strain to support such a huge body must have turned out to be too. Even after the remodeling, its restitution module still can't function perfectly just like a living being. Mechanical life forms have a limited lifespan. It most likely only reactivated because it detected my presence. And then it mustered up everything it had. Tainari told you what happened to me. You don't have to apologize. It's not like this. Besides, I've always treated it as a failed experiment. However, finding out that so many people were affected by my failure does make me feel somewhat Can you head back to Pardis DI first? We've been here for As for me...
Пипец. Ну, тоже есть, конечно. О, я тут. Здорово, Лаки, привет. О, аккуратно записка какая-то. Что это за записки? Инсулетные какие-то, блин, ё-моё, жесть. Ужас. Короче, пока ты не был, я уже с деки все прошел, и я бездну уже прошел, кстати, да. Бездну я уже прошел сразу. Сейчас только вот начал Форзан проходить. Ну как начал, сейчас уже, наверное, одну концовку уже закончу. Поэтому, да.
You're back.
How was your journey through the desert?
Мне рассказывать о миме. Я не видел
So
еще.
Madame Faruzan has some other things to settle. All right. And to think that
Madame Faruzan will be able to
Пока там миме. Как новую бездну я не видел еще. А там сейчас бездну не обновили. Там та же бездна, как в прошлой версии. Там просто сейчас баф другой. И все. Трикенки, алгоритм и этот электропапоротник еще. Все так же осталось с прошлого патча. Подождите один день. Ого. Ладно, перемотаю. Жесть. Понял. Ну вот, да. Жесть, конечно.
I'm back. Madame Faruzan. That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert.
So this is a relic of an ancient civilization?
Unscrupulous, huh? Sounds like you already told them what happened. Is that so? Thank you. It's nothing. I've already given all the evidence we have against Raid to the academia. I'll start repairing Karkata then. Kale, can you help me out? Of course.
Ну и треки, конечно, мне тут играть, блин. Все? О, все, починили его, наконец, Каркату, блин.
It looks fine, but even so.
Ля, бодренький какой, блин. Да, они, кстати, да, участвуют в этом, кстати. Так что... Но в основном, как бы, мы все с Фарузанкой завязываем. Просто они тут, как бы, соучастники. И Карката? Да. Карката тоже. Вот как раз сейчас вот было задание, связано с ним, как раз таки мы, типа, его... Это... Починить его хотели. Вот по итогу вот с Фарузан пошли искать модуль.
Thank you for keeping Tamimi a secret. If I tell them about Tamimi, will they still feel happy for Karkata? I don't want my past to affect people in the present. That applies to both me and other people. It's fine. I'm used to this. I once believed that I'd never hear from my old friends and family ever again. Even their faces are getting hazier in my memories. However,
там реально, блин, сука, профессор жесть. Там, типа, очень известно, что она, блядь, там... У него был питомец свой, блядь. То, что там было письмо от ее мамы, блядь, которое уже прошло сколько лет, до хера времени прошло. Короче, полная жесть, блядь.
Besides, you're lending a listening ear to me now, aren't you? Oh, Pardius DI looks pretty scenic at night. Once Karkata's condition stabilizes, I'll find a chance to tell Tainari and call it. But for now, just help me keep this secret. Thank you. Whether it's 100 years ago or now, I have people who worry about me. I suppose I should consider myself quite fortunate.
No.
The only time when I felt otherwise was when I had just returned to Sumeru. No one came to check up.
Добро, пожаловать домой.
Yeah, I'm home.
Аля. Это довольно милая концовка, так скажу, честно. Это милая концовочка такая. Фоточка прям прикольная. И это только одна концовка. Походу, наверное, вышел на самую лучшую концовку, скорее всего, у нее. А тут их аж, сука, 5. Разговор под луной. Бля, выглядит прикольно довольно. Честно, как знаешь, это, блядь, вроде выглядит, как будто они гуляют, но такое ощущение будет, как свиданка у них, блядь. Серьезно. Прикольно. Так, теперь время выбора. Еще одну. Сейчас еще на одну концовку сразу выйдем. А, здесь, наверное, сейчас, скорее всего, мы расскажем про то, что у них там еще был свой.
How was your journey through the desert? Wait, where's Madame Farrow's?
Рассказать всю правду.
Oh no. She finally...
As a researcher, she could perhaps accept it. How we should give her some time. And in the future, I hope that we...
Бля, подожди еще. Бля, мне еще опять перематывать, блядь, сука, это ебаное время. Сука. Ну ладно. Перемотаем. Чё бы и нет. Мы ожидаем, мы ждем, блядь, пока это все херня начнется. Бля, у меня уже воды до сих пор не закончилась. Я, блядь, за весь стрим набрал, сука, воды до хера, у меня это все не выпил. Это забавно.
I'm back.
We've all been waiting for you.
That's more like it. Now, why Madame Farazan? Come now. I thought that you must... Well, it looks like you already know everything. Tamimi had been operating beyond capacity for a century, and I'm unable to repair it with my... As a senior, it is only right that I do something for the people who... Besides, I didn't say that I would be giving you these parts for free. I'll be sure to revive Tamimi once I've fully deciphered and...
All right. I'll do my best to...
Me too. Although, I'm not sure if I'll... Thank you. If they could remodel Tamimi's... And when that day comes, welcome home, Tamimi.
Точнее, Тамими. О. Новые друзья, новая жизнь, новое начало. Прикольненько. Сразу две концовки закрыли, кстати, уже. Так, и сейчас будет, наверное, тут ветка огромная. Короче, сюжет я сегодня, думаю, проходить не буду, я пройду уже сам лично. Так, еще гемчики получили. Так, смотрим. О, тут аж два разделения. Ну вот это самое прикольное, как по мне, блядь. Мне это прям дико нравится, вот эта, блядь, фоточка прикольная. Здесь они просто типа разбирают, собирают. Так, я пельмешки пошел кушать. Давай, приятного аппетита там. Сейчас тоже вот это всем закончу, я тоже пойду хавать. Ну что, пипец, что-то хавать захотел резко.
What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's
Так, это все читал. Давай поможем ладить эти дела.
Yeah, that would be the best, but I'm sure he'll say the best thing you can do. Huh? Oh yes. This so if I also stay and help. That still sounds
Окей, скоро
kind of
вернусь. Окей.
scary. Okay then.
Клейм, если будем.
I have to teach students from... We're back, Madame Farazan. The Traveler said that he can... Oh! Why, I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious. Is that so? Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat, or...
А, вот выбор, блядь. проект давай
I don't know
сначала.
if Kainari's told you about this before. I don't belong to Ksharawar, which specializes in researching mechanisms. Nor am I in Spontamod, which specializes in researching energy flow. Instead, I'm part of Haravatat, which specializes in languages and scripts.
She has been invited to Ksharawar multiple times to
Just listen to how they introduce themselves. In the future, Ksharawar will be the only Darshan with the ability to research mechanisms. There's no such thing as exclusivity in knowledge.
3 часа уже проработал, блядь. Ну, это, кстати, удивительно, что по подзарядке проработал. Ладно, я врубать его не буду, толком смысл не врубать, поэтому я просто пульк и все. Это тоже уберу, чтобы не мешалось.
Besides, the current Ksharawar is more concerned about how mechanisms can be used in everyday life, while my research involves textual analysis of ruins. If they're trying to use the collaborative project as an...
No, that's not it. The request this time is from Akara Crafts. The representative of Ksharawar recommended you to them, Madam.
Oh, respect? Oh, my. Putting aside my ideological differences with Ksharawar, I suppose I must acknowledge this attitude of theirs. Yeah. Akara?
In summary, Akara Crafts wants to design a series of early learning toys that will cultivate curiosity.
Early learning toys. Interesting.
The academia agreed to work with them because they hope that...
True. The current academia is in need of some new blood. If the children start learning now, perhaps I can find some talented students in a few... Madam Farazan, you...
Anise, Kasharawar's representative, should be staying in the inn at Port
Ormos? Now there's a place I haven't been to.
I probably can't join you since Port Ormos is a little far.
No worries. Go do your homework, Kale. Once I'm done with everything here, I'll thank you. Why, I'd even call this a rare chance for a curious...
Так, ну ладно, пошли смотреть.
Madam Farazan! Oh, all right, calm down. Let me be clear. After all, you're here as representatives of the academia in this collaboration.
Either way, now, we've given Akara Crafts many ideas over the past couple of days. However,
That's expected. Students who have never had to deal with budgetary constraints probably don't understand how important it is to keep costs low. How enviable.
If you join the Ksharawar, your budget will be as big as you...
That's enough. I will not repeat myself.
All right. He's usually at the slope up ahead recruiting volunteers.
Конечно, траки интересные, блядь, скажу, блядь.
Mamdu, the one I recommended is here.
Oh, so you're,
Yes, that's me.
Oh, wonderful. We've made many suggestions, but Miss Anise thought that those ideas were too...
These early learning toys are meant to help the academia train...
But if they're too complicated, not only will they be expensive...
So the design can't be too complicated.
I remember that in your notes. Many contraptions have managed to fulfill complex functions.
The contraptions in my notes? I didn't create those. I simply took the contraptions in the ruins apart and analyzed them. But now that you mention it, the ruins did have things like that. Do you have a pen, paper, and scissors?
You have an idea already? I suppose I should have expected as much of a respected academia senior researcher.
Так.
Oh, you're done already?
Возвращением.
Let me explain. These these paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes.
Well, that is easier to make than I expected.
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift.
Isn't this a little...
Of course, when moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. You can only move one. It's like building a tower. The rings in the 3 poles must be stacked from big to small.
Pagoda
Собери
stack.
пирамидку, блин. Если еще я без вебки, может, мне телефон сел.
That sounds way too simple. Even I feel like it's missing something.
Так.
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Anis that you find volunteers to try out the toys, right? Why don't we do the same?
It's such a simple toy.
Mandu, let's just do it.
Huh?
Окей.
And that's how you play this game. You can all give it a...
You called everyone here for...
It doesn't look like it'll...
Come on, we all promised to help Mr. Mamdu test out the new toys. He said he'd give us new genius invocation teeth.
Ugh, fine. Let's get...
Карта, блин, что-то...
Done. It took me 9... Huh? It took me over 20 steps.
I only needed 18 steps.
Not bad. Then let's increase the difficulty. The next tower...
5 ярусов, ого.
Wait,
Well, since we're already...
an extra layer shouldn't make it that much.
What's going on? I've already moved over
I'm almost done. Done! It took me 35...
What?
This pagoda stack toy is pretty fun to... Good. We'll try it one final time.
7.
Mamdu, we've still got quite a few...
Do you need that many steps for something this simple? Let me try.
Madam Faruzan,
You were looking at it quite seriously just now. If you want to test out your hypothesis.
Got it.
Aw. We don't have enough paper strips left for you, Traveler.
Почти.
Why don't you guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is?
Ха? Погоди, блядь. Типа, что за разгадки нахуй? Типа 7 ярусов, блядь. Блядь. Ну, допустим, 100.
What a shame. You were close. Let's see how well they do that.
Ну ладно. Я, блядь, я без понятия, я, блядь, не математик, к сожалению, сорян.
If I move this small ring, then the big one won't be able to go on top of it.
I've lost count of how many steps I've taken.
It's got a lot.
I solved it.
Там никакие числа не были, здесь прикол был в том, что тут она придумала игру. 128 было.
That many?
Скорее всего. Надо потом уже глянуть.
For every extra layer in the pagoda stack, the move order you need to consider becomes much more complex, and the number of steps required will at least double.
Минимум двое.
More accurately, it will require double the steps plus
Двое
1
плюс
each
1.
time. You did well. You didn't underestimate the complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has.
Ох, уже там математика тут.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that no contraption should ever be
I see. So even a simple toy can...
That's right. The rules used for pagoda stack are the simple. I could spend some time picking out all those machines that do... Once that happens,
А это, кстати, особо ничего не влияет, я так скажу.
find out which toy is the most popular. Do you have any other toys?
Yeah! When can we play with them?
In about 2 days or so, I think.
Of course.
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. You'd be most welcome.
Thank you for coming here with me today.
Ну, окей. Ужас.
I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you can. Once Anise. We haven't had much time to get... She's able to calmly figure out the basic principles behind something. I'll do my best to teach her over the next few days. Still, how much she learns will really... Well, her interest lies in the application of mechanism. I do have some old knowledge to share. But if we think about the future, my research into mechanisms is, in a sense, aside. If she becomes my student to learn how to make modern contraptions, it wouldn't benefit either of us in the long run. However, if she develops an interest in deciphering ancient texts over these... If I successfully poach a student, those young punks at her avatar... Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Harabatot and ask for a higher budget directly from the academy. Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anis's help, 2 days will...
Записательный текст.
You're right.
Ну да,
If no one
проще лучше.
understands the reference book, it doesn't matter how detailed. It's better to make it simpler and fun so that children will be... Thank you. I'll take your opinion and...
Блядь, 2 дня. Серьезно, мне 2 дня ждать? Ёбаный пиздец. Ну ладно, мотаем. Хули нам делать? 2 дня мотать надо, блядь. Эх, поспать можно. Ну, так примерно, блядь, типа, я сплю, на самом деле, я так не терплю, к счастью. Если так бы храпел, у меня бы нахуй горло уже откисло. Ну, по крайней мере, 2 дня переждали.
I got a new letter from an informant. Looks like the situation has changed again.
Presentation.
Oh, you're here.
We've called up everyone we...
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited...
Вот и начало. Толпа.
And if we activate this little... A Sumeru rose will appear at the top of the cane. I thought it came out of thin air!
If the mechanism was bigger, you could make a...
Then you can't use a cane. Could you switch it out with... You're applying what you learned creatively. Let's look at the next page. If you fold an origami...
Whoa. You can make a mechanism using just a piece of paper?
The principles at play are
О, блин,
even more important
механизм
than
из
the parts
бумаги.
that make up a mechanism.
These are pretty cool.
I'm not that interested in toys.
Everyone, we have paper prototypes and craft materials.
This is such a well-prepared event.
But...
It's fine. We have a lot of paper prototypes.
Презентация идет очень бойко.
Oh, my... Professor Farazan? Just madam will do. Maybe in the future, you may wish to pay attention to these few details. Here, for example.
Wow, it really did fly. Madam Farazan, will we learn origami at the academia?
Of course you will.
Оригами.
If you become a researcher,
А,
you can
ну да,
explore
это
any field you
оригами,
like to
блин.
your heart's content. In the future, if you want, you can even...
But Mom and Dad said that there are 6 Darshans in the academy. Which Darshan teaches about mecha...
Well, in this case...
Сразу же затриггерилась.
I know. We need to choose Kashara.
Huh?
I want to attend Kashara War in the future and fold...
I want to make even more... Actually, the other Darshans do have their own specialties, too. For example, Paravatat specializes in... Pay attention, children. Children? How did this happen?
What if we end up in a Darshan we don't...
No, that won't happen. Take me, for example. The only person able to restrict your curiosity as a researcher... It's all right. Let me tell you a story about pressure...
Ужас. О, ля. Садовник и зернышко. Прикольно. Прям сидит она с детьми, это все рассказывает. О, тут еще одно есть, блядь. Сейчас, наверное, опять мотать мне на 2 дня.
I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and college. You want to ask why I'm unwilling, putting aside the fact that they're too full of them. After all, knowledge is either right or wrong. Superior, no matter what corner of the unknown they shed light on. It's a step forward for... Because I believe wholeheartedly in that, even if the others call my research useless, as long as the knowledge I gain from it is accurate,
Как тебе, кстати, Фурзан, я ничего не проходил еще, только сейчас обнову загрузил. Так, в смысле, я еще в начале стрима только все начал проходить, и сейчас квест-дехи прошел, бездну прошел, и вот сейчас вот его прохожу, и все. Не-не-не, я случайно. А, только сейчас обнову загрузил, да.
When I first started deciphering ancient documents, that's why there's no need for me to join them to do useful research. I'd rather stay in her...
Ну вот, 3 квеста появилось чисто, я вот одна встреча.
So
Пока мне все нравится. Фурзан особенно мне прям интересно.
I can even ignore Haravatot and ask for a higher budget. Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anissa's help, 2 days will be enough for our work. However, you're right. Explanations are by using detailed and accurate illustrations. We thank you. I'll take your opinion into account.
Ага. Сейчас, походу, мы кое-что сейчас, наверное, сделаем не очень прикольное, блядь. Перематываем время. 2 дня перемотки. Ух, как же весело. Ух. Так. Презентация, идти наверх. Обратно, примерно.
Oh, you're here.
We've called up everyone.
My master.
Так, сейчас посмотрим, что будет дальше.
To sum up, the 24 forms of prep. All right, let's go to the next page. Now, I'll explain the base layer design of elemental monuments.
Я как будто казался.
Are we done yet?
I don't understand.
Are these really?
They sound a bit.
Oh.
О, лава гильдии, лол.
Well, we've prepared paper prototypes.
Oh, this is no fun.
I want to go home and play.
Forget it. I don't think anyone would be.
I should go home and take.
Угу. Скомкано. Теперь пошло все не по плану.
How did this happen?
I'm sorry. I think.
No, you simply gave suggestions. I was the one who decided to follow through. Anise too.
О, блин.
I will find a way to make up for this error.
Excuse me.
Ah, you're that.
Do I stand out that much? Let me introduce myself.
What's the branch master doing here?
I came to Port Ormos to visit some old friends. On the way over, I saw the booklet. Can you print a few more copies of this booklet and sell them to the adventurers?
What does the adventurers get?
You may see them as toys, but to adventurers who need to deal with all sorts of machines, we have many members who can't read. So even if the academia granted public access to all their books...
Ah, and our booklet is practically...
Well, it is designed.
It might be a bit too difficult for children, but it's perfect for adventurers. If you can make wooden versions for demonstration purposes,
Интересно, блин.
we can supply
Все-таки, видимо, в каждой миссии своя концовочка. Ля. Удивлен немного.
Exploration will become much safer.
You really think so? I mean, yeah.
Making models of contraptions for the adventurers?
We'll probably have to send in a separate app. After all, this concerns safety during the exploration.
Then let's cut to the chase and discuss the details of this much.
Уйди, боже. Сука, я, блядь, хочу заскринить этот, блядь. Блядь, мне вот ее эмодзи нахуй нравится. Она, блядь, так... скружила такие ручки, блядь. Ядрить, блядь. Что это было? Ну, просто типа, я умираю. Я все сделал. Ужас. Так, осталась последняя концовка. И все. Блин. Блин, это, конечно, забавно. Вот этот ее музей я нахуй хотел сфоткать. Угольные лепешки. Хотя на самом деле их там вроде переименовали сейчас. Я сейчас они угольные.
What now? She seems so. Master said there's. I feel for that, but if I get her in trouble.
Так,
Yeah, that would. But I'm sure he'll say. Huh? Oh yes. This week. So if I also stay, okay then.
Так, ладно, колей мы тут приручать не будем.
I have to teach. We're back, Madam Farazan. The traveler said that he can stay in. Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person the traveler is? Is that so? Now, should I apply to teach a course?
Так, теперь лекция у нас получается.
You might have
Последняя.
heard of it before. Haravatat is an academic faction that...
No, not was. Still
yes, of course. But current Haravatat students can't really...
In summary, I mean to interpret the configurations and solutions of ruin mechanisms via the deciphering of on-site stone carvings and unearthed documents.
The research method is supported by Haravatat, yes, but the content deals heavily with both ruins and mechanisms. This will make it difficult for students of this dark. Also, there are fewer and fewer unexplored ruins left nowadays, and Kasharuar researchers have been developing their own theories on mechanisms.
They're far too complacent. Ancient mechanisms, I'm telling you, things weren't like this 100 years ago. All researchers back nowadays, all people are interested in are mainstream subjects in popular research. Even if they attended my course, I wouldn't be interested in teaching them.
Да. Так.
Also, the people here think that my research is outdated and unrealistic, so they keep cutting my funding.
Жесть. Что-то уж
Why I think they could all stand to learn from Kale. She's a hard-working child and respects... Huh? Why me? If only those who came to my lectures were more like you.
Эх, если бы студенты были бы.
Speaking of which, are you feeling better? You don't have to confine yourself to... I just remembered that I have a lot of studying to do. Are you telling me to start a reading course for Kale? Huh?
Wait. Although Tainari has academic dealings with the academia, he isn't considered part of it. This means that Kale isn't technically a student.
No, he's right. The old academia became consumed by their arrogance. There must surely be many people like Kale and Sumeru who are... The old academia paid no heed to them. But if I start a reading... Oh, save yourself the extra trouble. I'll come with you. Traveler, Kale... wait! Let's catch up with her.
Приколи, теперь поставили на место. Ужас. Ладно, теперь это уже внутри академии делать. Классический канон.
I can't believe she rushed right in after we arrived. She's really headstrong. Oh, how did things turn out like this? No, not really. Madame Farazan is a brilliant scholar. Even Master thinks so. If she's really going to teach, it's just that she can get a bit too passionate sometimes. I don't know how to handle that. Maybe it's because she wants to take me in as a student?
В ученики взять. Ого.
It's just like that researcher said. The academia has completely changed. I don't really get it. But it does seem like Haravatat students who are interested in mechanisms and applications of the elements. Madame Farazan also refuses to accept random students just to make up numbers. But she seems to like my attitude toward learning. So she often asks me if I'm willing to become her it's because I'm a slow learner that I have no choice but to stay up late and study. Whenever she compliments me, I feel really guilty. It's not that. Madame Farazan respects my choices. She hasn't been trying to persuade me. Especially, she sometimes brings food to Gandharvaville for me. And each time she says that Master can't find out.
Совсем как бабушка с любой умничкой.
Now that you mention it, it does feel a bit like that.
Kale, Traveler, thank you for waiting. I argued with the higher-ups and convinced them of their practicality and necessity. If I'm not mistaken, they're the students of my classmates' students.
Amazing.
It's just that we need to fill in every single page of the application. Let's see now. What do we need to fill in? Course name, learning objectives, teaching methods. That's a bit too general, I'd say. After all, this class's target audience, as such, will need a more specific learning objective.
That's true. If we use children's teaching materials...
And you have your job as a forest ranger, Kale. People who attend this course in the future are also likely to have life commitments. We need more.
Master always tells me that practice is the best way to learn.
It must have been difficult to get books in Sumeru in recent years. Expanding literacy is a capital notion. Now that the academia is easing restrictions on the circulation of books, there should be more people who have become interested in reading. It's a great time. So that's next on the list. I fear that I'm at a loss as to which books youngsters like nowadays.
Fair. Me?
Интересно.
I've been reading light novels from Inazuma. I heard that ever since we were allowed to sell books in Sumeru again, some
light novels? This is my first time hearing about such a thing, but I doubt I will procure suitable teaching materials from the House of Dana.
Wait for us,
Романы, блин, инадзумские. Капец.
You wouldn't think someone as fast as her is over 100. Let's pick up the pace and catch up to her.
Ой, что-то я слишком вниз ушел. Ладно, бывает. Что-то я ушел зачем-то. Наверх лезу, наверх залезаю. Вот.
What a long and mildly ungrammatical type.
Is this your first time seeing a light novel, ma'am? Oh, they're the most popular.
Fine. When?
Of course. Why don't you try this one?
I heard that this book's on.
Now I've only skimmed through a few pages. So the protagonist just ends up fighting in every scene with no proper build-up. Will anyone even enjoy a story that's only comprised of fights?
How about... the good thing about being...
A reincarnation isekai story? Those are pretty popular right now.
Исакай реинкарнация. О, теперь исакай даже в Геншине есть. Ужас. Все. Докатились, блин. Теперь исакай уже и в Геншине появились. Окончательно.
Isekai? What in the world is that? Also, why does it become tropes? Those fictional rules used to push the plot forward, yes? They're definitely effective in achieving.
Sorry.
However, this book doesn't explain how reincarnation correlates to becoming stronger. Such an illogical rule will affect the coherence of the story. Will readers really
how about this? I had to fight tooth and...
Oh! That's the latest volume of Onibudo!
Now that's a rather normal title length.
Yes, but I don't like it that much.
Если ты просто любишь к этому жанру.
Madam? Are you...
Let me see. The Third Eye of Perception. Illusory...
I also thought those names were strange when I was reading them.
It's impossible to derive the meaning of these phrases in isolation. Also, they're morphological. Or did the protagonist purposely create these strange names to disorient their foes? So there's no deeper purpose.
You're right. It's such...
Even the most popular book in Sumeru back then had greater depth than anything written today. Yes! A Bahumano researcher wrote it while the plot had many twists. The world building was fantastic, and even the sages back then all described the story as a timeless classic.
Is there a book like that in Sumeru? I've never heard of such a...
It's called Tales of Shariar.
Tales of Shariar?
About 100 years ago.
Лет 100 назад.
100 years ago? Are you pulling my leg?
The legend of Antara is popular to this very day, isn't it? I just heard someone telling if an old story like that is still being shared, then Tales of Shariar...
Even if that is the case...
What? Is that because of the academia? I can't believe they've allowed the people of Sumeru to become...
Tales of Shariar? Oh, wait. I think I heard an antique seller on the other... I mean, it is a book from 100 years...
Tales of Shariar is considered an antique now? How could the academia have let such an excellent traveler, Kale? I'm going to...
Madam, wait! Oh no. You asked me why I'm scared of Madame Farazan, right? It's because I'm afraid of that ancient language she researches, because I can barely understand any of it. Even so, what if researchers from 100 years...
Ужас. Мне теперь даже жалко Кали теперь стало. Антикварная лавка.
Found it! The 5th volume of... Wow! You actually...
I never thought this book would ever get...
All right. That's our teaching material secured. We also now know. Can I?
Luckily, the language being used here isn't ancient at all.
As long as the writing is good, readers won't need any illustrations to imagine the scene. Worry not. I shall thoroughly explain the difficult section. After all this time, I wonder if Aaliyah and Sir, do you have the subsequent?
I don't.
Is that so? And here I thought I could finally read. If I'm to use it as a teaching material, it's better to start earlier and. Is this series really that popular?
No. It's not popular at all.
No demand? Impossible. Back then, I'd come across at least 3 groups of people talking about it during a.
Seriously? No one told me that this book.
Where did you get this from?
I'm afraid not. This book was sold together with a whole bunch of antique furniture. Otherwise, the mantra would have come knocking. Wait, is this book actually worth a lot?
That's impossible. No matter how strict the act.
I do remember a passerby skimming through the book a few days.
He sighed? Why would he react like that? I'm sorry. Traveler? Calais? Why is there another misunderstanding between Aaliyah and a new character is introduced with no foreshadow? Is this really the Tales of Shahryar I know?
Well, that passerby reacted in much the same. It's Madar from the cafe over there. Since that's also a very old story, maybe.
Then let's go ask around at the cafe, huh?
Oh, yes.
Да уж.
Let's go.
Слишком уже запутался в этих книгах. Ужас. Ну вот за что? Зачем? Ну дофига. Вот нафига так путаться, блин. Могло бы быть все проще. Но нет, это все усложнило. Да, это, конечно, пипец.
Another
Excuse me?
Yes. Are you here to listen to my story?
Sorry.
It's fine.
Do you know about Tales of Shahryar?
Huh? Tales of... My master always talked about how incredibly popular that book used to be. However, I tried reciting a few chapters of it at the cafe.
Your master?
Yes, the one who taught me how to be a storyteller. He also said that this great-great-grandmaster he wrote 4 volumes back then, and the reviews just got...
And then? What happened next?
Oh, it's hard to tell when it comes to trends. One day everyone likes stories. Instead of writing a proper ending, this to tap into popular trends, he added a lot of tropes.
How could that be?
In the end, there's no ending. The great-great-grandmaster he got so infuriated.
What? So there's no ending?
Вот
the
и всё.
readers didn't care.
By that time, anyway, my master probably exaggerated. The only tangible thing my great-great-grandmaster left is the original draft of Legend of Antara. He also left behind many theses from his research phase. When my master is a much better storyteller.
Запутано прям в этом плане история.
Even when we're telling the same story about Antara, he's always able to draw in a huge... But even he won't recite Tales of Shahryar due to its ever-changing writing style.
So, Antara's story is the one that lasted through...
Well, not even sages can definitively ascertain the quality of something like a story. In the end, only time...
Only time? Madame Farazan? It's been 100 years. Perhaps some things I once...
Yeah! Master helped me find a lot of famous books at first. But no matter how good those stories are, I can't improve my skills if I can't bring myself to read them in the first place.
Huh. That is true. Readers' interests and trends of a time are not things that are so... What was popular 100 years ago could be completely forgotten in modern times. And yet, 100... If Tales of Shahryar hadn't chased after trends and instead stuck to its original style from it might have stood some chance of gaining renewed popularity. No, even if that didn't happen, at least it would...
Huh? Our conversation just got a...
I don't really get what you're talking about, but it does sound sensible. Looks like I also have to hang in there and tell Antara's story well.
How unseemly. I almost got carried away because of a single book. No, it's much too old.
Совсем старье.
Kale, you found a book that you liked. Yes. Then we'll use that book as our teaching material. Now that I think about it, as for the academia, as long as we come up with an appropriate course name, we should be able to get away with this. My, it sounds like you've dealt with the academia before. Let's go with that. Now then, let's return to the book vendor in a bit and but if I wish to use it at speaking of which, other than third eye of perception and illusory such things as even if it reminds me of my dark history, why do people use dark history to refer to awkward or embarrassing? If one of our learning objectives was researching linguistic changes over the past 100 years, it might make it easier to get these books approved as teaching material.
Oh, I can tell you what that's all about. Apparently but as they grew older, they started to become embarrassed by such.
Mara, you know, I suddenly have the...
Huh? Why so suddenly?
I knew it. There will always be...
Оптимальное решение. Фух, жесть. Все, я прошел все. Да. Ну, в принципе, мне понравилось. В принципе, вот это, блин, довольно забавно получилось, довольно. Типа вот эта фотка самая забавная. А вот это самая милая из всех. Фоточка. Мне это прям понравилось дико. Это вроде обычные такие фотки, типа... И вот это тоже, типа, где рассказ, просто ничего особого. Вот эти две больше запомнились фотки. А больше всего вот это, я даже ее засейвлю, какой-то отправлю. Ох, ладно, сюжет я оставлю для себя уже лично, поэтому все. На этом я пока, наверное, закончу. Уже 30 лишним часа уже стримлю. Жесть. Еще гейм получил за Фарузан. Пока крутки тупо фармить буду. Хотя, конечно, было бы неплохо бы сами все заиметь, но пока особо в этом смысла нету вообще. Поэтому все. Ладненько, думаю, на этом все закончу, наверное. Ой, тут что-то только осталось. Или мне проще это вот так вот сделать. Вот и все, умирал Кенджа. Короче, все. На этом я закончу сегодня. Ох, что-то я прям постримил так нормально. Я давненько так не сидел. Конечно, людей не было так много, как раньше. Когда был вот мой первый стрим после довольно большого актива, блин. Мне там людей было довольно много. Сейчас уже никого особо не осталось. Ну, в принципе, ладно. Дело времени. Как говорится, надо больше делать, чтобы побольше и пришло. Ладненько, все. Я пошел. Бай-бай.